Four different pole sitters in four different races, four different race winners in four different races. And what an incredible classic that we've got in store for you this season. We are here in Miami for the second time ever in ALR, and an absolutely exquisite event, I believe, that this is going to be then. As I said that, because this is the second time we're racing here in Miami, then that means that we could realistically have a new track record around here. However, Liam, yeah, hopefully that's not the case because he currently has the lap record at the moment, which he set last season, didn't he? Then I remember last season as well. It was one of the major highlight packages, wasn't it? Last season as well, the incredible battle between not Liam, yeah, between Percy and Boxtow. Incredible racing it was indeed. Then on the very last corner, the very last lap, but Percy sent it into turn 18 there and won the Grand Prix, didn't he? I know that Percy was not too thrilled with that, was he? But of course, who would be if if you've given up the lead on the last lap? But they were swapping the lead so many times in that race, and I'm expecting something more the same again here tonight. Welcome to Miami. Let's go through the drivers and constructors, shall we? Whilst we have got a bit of a low on circuit then. And it is Lucas Percy who leads the way then. An incredible sprint event we had last weekend in Baku. My goodness me. Percy won the sprint and the Grand Prix. Fantastic. Second position is a Molson. It's a Williams 1-2. They've absolutely transformed their form from last season. Remember, they finished 10th in the Constructors last season, Williams did, but now they're very much flying high in gold. Then, of course, the former Constructors champions are back in at season 2. Third is Troy, the world champion, and 17 points back at the moment from Percy, but he's on 44 points along with Immortal. Gamer, incredible season so far. He missed last week, I believe, but he's still fourth. That's incredible. Milan making his 69th start tonight. Nice. He is currently fifth at the moment there on 32 points. Sixth position is Liam. Yeah, consistent start as well on 28. Chaz is seventh on 27. Boxtown only got his first points of the season last time out in Baku, but he's elevated himself up to eighth in the championship with Mr. Raging Bull ninth, and Nosey completes the top 10. Equals and German on 16 points and 14 points for Sloth. 12 points for Green then, and then Indigo on 8, 4 for Siege, Coop also on 4 with Marky on 1 point. Then two drivers have yet to score, which is Nigel and Vesley, unfortunately down the relegation zone then. Constructors Championship, Williams leads 37 points then in front of Alfa Romeo, the only team to get into the 100 so far in gold then, 105 points, 68 points for Alfa Romeo. That's a massive gulf in points at the moment. Alpha Tari in third position on 56. And Mercedes was leading the Constructors Championship after, I think, going into Baku last week. They've dropped right down to fourth now. They're on 51 points. Haas are in fifth on 40 points. Sixth position is Aston Martin, 38. 37 for McLaren, 27 for Red Bull, 18 for Alpine, and Ferrari with only 4 points on the board after... Only 4 points on the board. Courtesy, whoa, goodness me, as Green's back end there is not very compliant then out of turn 2, I think that was. Ferrari only got 4 points and courtesy of Coop plan last time out in Baku. Just watching Green then navigate his way through the first part of the lap here in Miami. Interested to hear your thoughts on here in Miami Gardens. And as we race around at Hard Rock Stadium, I don't mind the circuit personally. I must say, hopefully it may become a classic. Then we've got 3 tire zones around here on the start finish straight, on the straight where Sam is now, and of course on the back straight then between 17 and 18, and so coming up to the flyover. Then a very technical, twisty part of the circuit we're in now. I like this part of the circuit personally, but it's very much an error generator, isn't it? That chicane is very Mickey Mouse-esque and very frustrating for the drivers. As now Green going under the highway then onto the back straight. Hopefully they don't go around that chicane. I really hope they don't, because it does remind me of the old Singapore sling then. However, of course, Singapore, but it's a bit more upright, isn't it? It doesn't feel like the Singapore sling at all, really, does it? But there we go. Nevertheless, yes, I do quite like that chicane then. Out of the final turn then, and then Green coming across the line then to complete our opening lap then. Of course, last week we didn't have full qualifying. We do have full qualifying this week, of course. No sprint event. event then, which means there is 18 minutes in the first qualifying session, 15 minutes in the second qualifying session, and 12 minutes in the third qualifying session then. Siege going second fast at 4 seconds away from green. He is on the hard tyres there. We're right smack bang in the middle of the compound range then, of course, C2, C3 and C4. We've got the wets and the intermediates in case, and of course I think it was it rained very heavily, didn't it, around Miami just 5 weeks before Formula 1 was actually scheduled to go there in real life. Here comes Cooper across the line going second fastest. That's quickly dispatched by Indigo's second fastest as well. So this first qualifying session as Milan goes fastest on a 27.5 on medium tyres there. Milan is really impressive stuff indeed there from Milan. The two-time Grand Prix winner now is 69th start in ALR as well, and I do feel that Milan is really elevate himself on F123 this year, looking pretty imperious as well then. Of course, only 2 starts Milan has had this season, but in both starts he has been pretty impressive to say the least then. We'll keep an eye on how that goes, and here's Mr. Raging Bull then in the Red Bull. Of course, DRS wide open, then German out on circuit just behind him as well. We'll stick with Mr. Raging Bull for a minute then. Of course, a pole sitter in of his own right as well then. Out of the final turn then, coming across the line, Mr. Raging Bull goes second fastest there. Closest challenger to Milan, known by 0.4 of a second there. What about German in the Alfa Romeo then? Bit of a difficult start for German there. Going third fastest there at the moment, and on a 28, half a second away from Milan at the moment now for German, the former world champion as well. Back in season number... season number 6 as well. Immortal just trying to trying to warm those tyres then. Immortal was that horrific start for Immortal in Baku just over a week ago. Completely completely misjudged his braking point and went to the back of Keza, which which completely ruined both races for the sprint and for the Grand Prix. So and Immortal, who was leading the championship after Australia, unfortunately now down in he's still second still, but yeah, missed opportunities there for Immortal, and his teammate took full advantage, Percy, and he is now leading the World Championship. Look at the change of direction there, fantastic indeed. Then we are gold, then Nose is saying, and Immortal P1 is Darko is saying, and we got Immortal on screen at this moment in time. Then whilst Immortal's halfway through the lap, let's take a look at the joint constructors. Alfa Romeo, the first team to get into the 200 mark, and they're on 209 points now. Brilliant start to the season for Alfa Romeo. Second position on 181 points, 28 points back is the Haas team. Williams are in third position, 22 points away from the Haas team. They're on 159. 150 for the Red Bull and the Ferrari team, then they're joint fourth at the moment. 18 points further back is the Mercedes in sixth, and Alpine seventh. And then the last 3 teams have not got into the as Immortals in bad 8 this time, unfortunately, as I've backed out, so we're going to stick with Liam for the minute. We got 3 teams that haven't got to the 100 mark yet. Aston Martin, I think a great recovery after the opening. I think it was like the opening 3, 4, 5 rounds of gold, silver, and bronze. They really hadn't scored a point up, but they've really recovered nicely. They're up to 8 from the joint constructors now on 88 points, 79 points for the McLaren team. AlphaTauri, who absolutely stormed to the joint constructors championship last season, only is 10th at the bottom of the pile, 5 points away from the McLaren team, 135 points away from the Alfa Romeo team there. So not good at all, unfortunately, there for the AlphaTauri. Talking of AlphaTauri, there's a lot of rumours, isn't there? There's a lot of rumours in the media that they are going to be having their name changed to Hugo Boss Bulls. Is that what they say? I think they're Hugo's Boss Bulls Racing or something like that for next season, which interesting, isn't it? I don't know about the classic minority name personally. Here's Liam out of the final turn, and he goes second fast. And talking of Liam and the Haas team, now there's a lot of rumours about it's going to become Alfa Romeo Haas or something like that, isn't it? Is that Alfa Romeo going to be the title sponsor for the Haas team, which that's going to be interesting as well, isn't it? But not a huge surprise really that Aston Martin, because Haas do buy a lot of their bits and pieces off the Ferrari team, don't they? And they've even got a little base next door to Ferrari as well. So I'm not surprised that Alfa Romeo will be joining up then to be a part of the Haas team. So looking forward to that indeed then. As they're just now coming out of that bike straight, going onto the bike straight, say. Immortal going for a second part of the chair as well. Here comes Immortal. What about Box Style? Box Style halfway through the lap, and also going to stick with Marky, the most unluckiest driver on the grid so far. Marky, who has only got a point so far, and this man has been so quick in all 3 Grand Prix he's participated in. He doesn't, I think he's at least on the podium at least once, and once again showing his pace. Marky has had a great slipstream now from his teammate Knowlesy, but I do feel that Marky should have his partner's had enough of this in his left session. I don't know why that is, and yeah, I think that Marky should have the most. Should really be right under. I think it should be the top 5 of the championship. It does have that pace. Unfortunately, does not come home to roost, does it? Boxed out on the medium tyres, and same strategy as Milan Monex and Troy as well. Interesting strategy here there for the top drivers, then I would say. Jordy down in 7th position at the moment there, of course, the last season's runner-up. Difficult start to this season, then, as we mentioned already in the top of the broadcast there from Boxed Out, but do not count this man out. This man does love a good charge, doesn't he there? Troy currently 4th fastest among there. Also needs a clean pair of heels as well after 2 difficult races there. Slop in the second McLaren there, just coming down the back straight. Nigel's invalidate this time, then Knowlesy also out on circuit. There he is in the background in the blue Alpine car. Talking of teams there, of course, Alpine are also a bit in a mess, aren't they? As they have let go Alan Permain and Otmar Sapnar, which is a very interesting tactic, especially as they announced it before the Belgian Grand Prix, so they still had to do their work. Then there's a bit of working with notice, giving in your notice, like your employer giving in a notice to you, isn't it? Really, which is very strange. There we go. Enough said about that, I think. Then Knowlesy, I think, invalidated his time now, hasn't he? So so he's not going to be able to improve his time. Siege there, 10th second down, second split time. But once again, on the same hard tires. So he's going for, I reckon that Siege is doing a race run, you know. They do their race runs, don't they? They do their race runs, don't they? On just before the race, I suppose. I think Siege wants to get an actual feel of the car and balance of himself. Maybe unlucky for Pastor Maldonado as well, but hopefully it's not unlucky for Siege. Then he is down the back straight, and I've just read the most funny comment that we've probably had all year. I'll read out in a minute. Evening all looking good for Marky finish tonight. I really hope so. Marky has been absolute, as I've mentioned there. Marky has been one of the most unluckiest drivers that at least easily in this season. Then possibly. Immortal travel from the session, but don't worry about that, Immortal fans. He is just in the pit lane, just putting his feet up and reading the paper. I don't think drivers read the paper anymore, do they? They probably are probably going to be reading. I don't know what the sports team. I don't know what the sports they have over in Immortals country. I'm just watching Knowlesy on the back straight. Of course, we all know what Knowlesy has. It's Knowlesy News, isn't it? There, of course, his own presenter. Into the pit lane he comes now. Percy back straight, accelerating out of 18 and 19. That's where he overtook Boxtel to win the Grand Prix last season. Percy out of the final turn and going faster on the 27 to 2/10 of a second, I should say. Easy for me to say, in front of Marky, who is second fastest. Once again, Marky showing his pace. Again, then isn't it? A gamer going only 12th fastest, and then he's invalidated his time, and that's a harsh invalidation because he just crossed the line and got an invalidate in there because I think he just went off the track ever so slightly. He didn't really pick up any pace, I don't believe. Coop as in soup in 14th position now. Chazza out of the final turn. Chazza going full fast. That great time there for Chazza and the Alfa Romeo Salver. Lovely stuff indeed. Talking of Alfa Romeo, because we did mention that Alfa Romeo name might be going to the Haas team next season, which means that at this Alfa Romeo car will be turning back into Sauber for 2 years before becoming Audi. 2025 and 24, they will be known as Sauber, which is great stuff indeed. Of course, I do love the traditional Sauber name. Then, taking the script there on board. Return into action after missing last week in the Ferrari. And Wesley and Nigel, two drivers that have not got points on the board just yet. And I need to check to make sure that we've got no race penalty, because I've failed to check that twice now, and it's really come back to box in the rear. Vesley out of, I don't know what corner that was, to be honest. I'm still getting used to it. You can tell where the track's new, because I have no idea where I am. We've also got Get in Alpha. I didn't help them, but I don't care. Serious much saying. It doesn't matter, Serious much. What matters is you're part of the leading constructor. That's all that matters. That's certainly how I viewed it when I won the constructors in bronze in season 3. Yeah, who would have believed that? But basically, it was Dylan that did all the work, and I was just being a fool in the near the back of the grid, and also taking out my teammate as well, which is not very good, is it? That's why I've been relegated to the commentary box. And so I think the admins, I can't remember who was admin for bronze. I'll have to dig down the back of my memory, but I think that was the day that I lost my seat forever. Immortals left the session then, and hopefully we can get back in soon. Vesley going very perilously close to the wall there. Maybe I say perilously. Vesley's like, nope, we had so much distance between me and the wall. He goes 16th at the moment. No, Vesley doesn't. He's currently out of the drop zone. No, he's in the drop zone there. 16th and below are the drivers that are going to be sweating here at the moment. Great time for the second Ferrari. Cooper is really showing some mettle. Now, I reckon he's got so much confidence from that incredible race last time out in Baku. And there he is. Cooper up and doing finish a magnificent stop indeed. Indigo currently in the very perilously close to the drop zone as well. 15th at the moment. He does have a company cushion, if you can say it's company. It's definitely company in Formula 1 trims anyway, of 4/10 of a second there between himself and Vesley, but Nigel on an outlaw run. Equals chilling a bit. They Knowlesy currently out on circuit. That's why he had the set time yet. Even in Tanger, then good luck to the Aston driver. Still don't know how it went last week, and that's what I meant. And of course, I didn't check the penalties from the race before, and unfortunately, Gina had a 5-second penalty, which gave Tango's first ever win in silver, which I'm absolutely devastated for Jinner. I'm happy for Tango that he got his first win, but I'm also devastated for Jinner as well. Both those drivers did an absolutely incredible job in Baku, and I think that unfortunately the two drivers cannot win the same Grand Prix, can they? So just those are the breaks, aren't they? So Boxstar, what is he doing then? Second split time is coming up now. No, it's not. I'm on the wrong straight. But here he comes then out of the final turn. Luckily enough, he's at the end of his lap. So now we'll see where Boxstyle is compared to his previous time. Found 7/10 a second. That's a much bigger improvement, a better improvement. Oh no! The down is not for Green. Green is off the circuit. He's got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Nigel. Now, we did not see what happened there, but sometimes the cause for these 5-place grid penalties in qualifying can be very suspect indeed then. But it's Nigel, he's got no wing, Nigel. I think Nigel's on his quick lap and has gone to the back of Green, you know. And that is going to be costly for Nigel, also costly for Green as well. Currently, Nigel, no points on the board at the moment for the silver champion, for the first ever ALR champion as well, Nigel. Unfortunately, no wing then. I cannot see the time, unfortunately, because we've got a graphic in the top left-hand corner, which I hope will go away in a minute. Then we'll see how much time is left then for Nigel to get out there and sort this out. Knowlesy has improved to 16th, but that is not enough at the moment there. I say not enough. 800 of a second separates him and Indigo to being out and to being not being out then. Across the start of his lap as well. Siege then, who is now on the soft tyres there. Unfortunately, though, for Siege, he's been caught red-handed there of cutting the chicane there. I'm not sure. I wonder if he'll abandon this and come back in the pit lane and have another go. Well, he can't have another go because there's only 10 seconds left in his qualifying session there. Oh dear, and Vesley's out of qualifying, Nigel out of qualifying as well. Equals, it's all or nothing now for Equals, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. So Siege, Vesley and Nigel out of qualifying. Both Aston Martins are having a traumatic time in this season's championships, aren't they? Up and down the grid, up and down the championships of gold, silver and bronze. And a hop, skip and a jump there for Equals. And Indigo out of qualifying. Well, he's out of this session then, but he's not. Whoever he's going to be out of qualifying remains to be seen. Knowlesy, has he got anything left in the bank? Knowlesy has said. Knowlesy has invalidated his time. He's out of qualifying as well. It's between Indigo and Equals. Of course, last season's Bronze, runner-up in silver. Down the back straight now then for Equalz. Let's see what he can do then. He has the break, but this is ultimate pressure now for Equalz, who I think has done a magnificent job in the gold since returning then. Out of the final turn for Equalz on his 41st start then. Going through, Indigo out of qualifying, and Equalz is through into qualifying too. And good 17 then. Gamer probably breathing a huge sigh of relief then. Is German has left the session there. Not good there for German then. Gamer, who is currently then just crawling back to the pit, but he is through by less than a tenth of a second into qualifying two. So Gamer will be happy with that, and of course a very good start for Gamer this season then. Sam Green then, at the moment he was starting 19th on the grid. If he qualifies 14th then, as that Gamer comes into the pit lane. This is the comments I was on about earlier on. His Forest boy has turned off his PlayStation. That's absolutely hilarious, isn't it? I love that. So that's why Favre left. That's why Favre left the session. I thought he just had enough of us all. But so that's why. So unfortunately for Favre, he had a bit of a technical gremlins, didn't he? Boxed out 1400 a second. Had great time then. That was set quite later on in the session, but let's see how that transpires. Nigel crashed into the back of Sam Green, we believe, at no time then. Vesley in 19th, Siege 18th, Knowles in 17th, and Indigo in 16th position. Those are our bottom 5 drivers. They're all out of qualifying as we roll on into qualifying 2 here in Miami. Favre, don't have kids then, or don't have your PlayStation near them, laugh out loud. It's up high. He pulled the power cable. That's great. Serious Russian me is smart then. There's nothing I could do from the spin. I'm sorry if I got I'm sorry if anyone got damaged there. I think that might be to do with the Nigel issue then, and why Nigel's out of qualified and Green through then. So it looks like Green had a spin there. I wonder if it was through that chicane. And unfortunately, Nigel was coming through there. Now, I think the marshals might have been a bit slow at getting those yellow flags out. And because of that, Nigel was unsighted there and went into the house car. That's what I'm assuming. Anyway, so that might be all a can of rubbish. And do you have a can of rubbish or trash or whatever? Well, you should say trash, really, shouldn't we? As we're over in the good old USA. 3 Grand Prix here in USA this season. That is a lot, isn't there? But but America is a massive market, isn't it? There, of course, the other Grand Prix, and we're staying at COTA for, of course, in Austin for the USA Grand Prix, and then we're going to Las Vegas, the second to last race of the season in Las Vegas. I am looking forward to that. That is that long back straight then is going to be pretty epic, isn't it? To say the very least. I wonder if Liam Young and Sam Green are going to work together then, because both Haas cars are Lionel Stern out on the circle at the moment, and we'll see how that one goes. The Alpines were doing that in qualifying 1. Unfortunately, Knowlesy out of qualifying. Markey is through into qualifying 2 then. Markey's qualifying is not the issue. He's been incredibly quick this season. I think he's been incredibly quick last season as well. Remember that Markey only made his gold debut last season, and of course he stepped up from silver, and since stepping up from silver, Markey has been one of the shining lights for me, hasn't he? But unfortunately, he does seem to be involved in some scrapes then, or just has an absolute amount of rotten bad luck then. If he had any luck, it would be bad luck at all. And I'm sure he's got the Mark Webber luck of Formula 1 at the moment, so hopefully he can shake that off then. It always used to be Mark Webber's car that used to have gremlins then in that Red Bull in his later years, which it's just the luck of the draw, isn't it, really? Unfortunately, Mark Webber had all forms of bad luck in that Red Bull. This on board of Liam currently then in sector 1. Let qualifying run if it glitched, I'll restock the lobby after qualifying. Well, Percy's got some pace then. Milan get 100. Milan get Bolt 100 there. I think that's 100% then. And Walter Canson invite me in play in Blues End and at Vegas. Could someone invite Walter in? Or am I allowed to do it? So someone can invite Immortal, and then if you're listening to the broadcast, which I'll be surprised if you are, because then you've got my horrific tones in your ears. Well, Serious Russian says Vegas stuck. We've also got another venue in Qatar. I love Qatar. I think it's a quality track, but I must say, I am very slow on it, like not just slow, but really slow. And I can't. That turn 6, I don't know why. I've done about 10 laps around Qatar, and 9 of the 10 laps I keep missing that turn 6. I don't know why, but I'm looking at Qatar is going to be absolutely fantastic race. I have no doubt about that. I think Las Vegas is as well, but I don't think that out of 2 new circuits, and the general consensus is that the drivers do prefer the Qatar over Las Vegas. Plus the line ended there was a 27.9 to start us on a qualifying journey. 4 minutes into this session now. So a good start indeed. Then Green going second fastest. There's me hypothesizing, which which I must say is never a good thing. Is I was thinking about the 2 Haas drivers there, maybe giving each other a slipstream with Green having that 5-place grid penalty there. But however, that is not the case. Is it? That is they've never given each other a slipstream. Milan going fast at the moment. Then Milan, I think, is the second highest now in terms of pole position. No, I think he's joined on second there with John Cox. So he will, if he gets pole position, he'll be the second highest pole sitter in ALR history with 15, which is pretty impressive stuff. In his 69th start, and he's going to have his 15th pole position as Boxer goes 4 fastest. His 15th pole position, then, which will leave him just a few shy of Emerson, who's had that qualifying record then for a very long time now. So Milan then, of course, is he's now a 4-time driver of the Mercedes team. That's a very super Mercedes team as well. Williams are running away from the constructors at the moment, but it is very early stages then. And of course, remember as well that Mercedes. I think that Milan is still trying to get used to this car, and Troy also has had a difficult start indeed. Then, so the constructor championship is not done and dusted by any stretch of imagination. When we first had the, because of course in ALR Gold, Silver, and Bronze, and in Formula 2, we had a driver draw as Mr. Raging Bull goes second fastest. We had a driver draw. Of course, the drivers don't pick their teams; they get a random then, because as the fairest it can be. But Williams had the strongest team come out of the hat there with Warsaw and with Person. Worryingly enough, I haven't seen Person come back into the session yet. I like guitar, but it's an e-sport track. Got to know where to even abuse track limiter. Knocked out qualifying one. I can't get together Indigo. However, Indigo even though it doesn't look very good that you get knocked out qualified, remember that the racing is where you score points. And I think Indigo has had 2 points finishes so far in the first 4 races, which ain't too bad at all. Is it? Coupe going 8 fastest at the moment. Marquis on circuit in the Alpine. So Milan's kind of happy with his 26.8 then, which I must say, I kind of said it very casually there, didn't I? He banged in a 26.8, and I didn't really think too much of it, but that's a pretty spectacular time. It's second in front of the rest of the field at the moment there. Fantastic stuff indeed. Indigo, join the party and you'll be fine. So long race, Indigo, then go get them, lad. Then exactly. Even though you're all competitors out there, you're very well. I must say, when I see my competitors out there, I'm not going to help anyone, mainly because I struggle to help myself, let alone anyone else. And I've lost me a mute button there, which is not good. I don't stand on that then. I've been invited to play golf. Fantastic. Right, I figured that is just. I think that's just. I hope no one loses the session. And it seems like a session. I figured that is just. That's just get a water back with my borrowing. Boom in. Yes, well, stepping up in quality now. Then points in gold is. It certainly isn't, is it? Just think of the 2 caliber drivers who haven't scored yet, Nigel and Vesey, 2 very experienced campaigners. Vesey then, of course, first ever raced in as Markey going at second fast set. He's in the 27th. No one has broken into the 26th at the moment. What does that compare to last season's qualifying time? Let me get up the little book of my little book of last season's pole position time was a 1:26.582. 1:26.582 then. So Milan is very close to pole position already, and we're only in qualifying 2, and the track is just going to get faster and faster. I couldn't get my brain around that then. So the track is going to get faster and faster, so we could have a new all-time lap record around here. Not just a race record, but an all-time qualifying time. Remember, this is only the second time we're racing around here, and these cars, I would say, are marginally quicker than last season as well. Swap down the old back straight then. This is accelerated away. And then now then comes the slot burn into the final corner, over the line, going fifth fast, and in front of his teammate as well, Boxtel. I do feel that Boxtel just hasn't got the car together yet, has he, in the season? He was very happy with second position last week, wasn't he, Boxtel was, but I think, well, of course, Boxtel is a driver that has very high standards, doesn't he, to say the least then. So I don't think Boxtel is going to be overly satisfied with that then until he gets back to winning ways then. This is round 5 now. Don't want to put any additional pressure on Boxtel, but he ain't gonna worry about what I say. But of course, the time is running out then, of course. There's only 2 races less than last season, because we had 24 races last season, spanning over the longest period of time of ALR history. That's not going to be the case this year, and we are hoping to finish. We are going to finish by Christmas time before we get another season. And season 10 of ALR as well. I'm looking forward to that next season. I think I'm the only person, to be honest, but there we go. I just think that the 10th anniversary needs to be something special. I really wish that we would take some like classic tracks on there, because I think that'd be a perfect way to celebrate the 10th anniversary of ALR. Yeah, there are some maybe Portugal may come back on the calendar. We might have Monaco. We don't have Monaco this season on the calendar. Percy going full fastest there in the 27.7. On that evidence there, it looks like Milan may have this one in the bag then, but of course with 5.5 minutes to go, only of Q2, a lot can happen in the end of this qualifying session. Here comes Troy with the Max Verstappen-esque Miami helmet there. Second fastest, it's a Mercedes 1-2 at this stage there. But no one has gotten into the 26s at the moment, apart from Milan there. And Milan there, as I mentioned, I don't think they have I don't think anyone reads the newspaper anymore then, but Milan is certainly out, certainly in a different solar system compared to everyone else. There's much, but Thameses more. Well, that's very sad to hear that. Hopefully, he's still got the incredible record there of not missing a single ALR race since making his debut back in Russia of season 1 of Silver, which where's that? And that is in total. That was our 3rd season total of ALR, because of course we had 2 seasons of just one tier, which is of course the gold tier in 2018. I don't think so. That was 2019 then, Troy doing a hop, skip and a jump now, but I think Troy's not going to be too concerned about that, so I'm sure it's so about a front wing then. But so as we've got Equaz has found a 10th for a second, and Boxer out for a second bite of cherry. Currently it is the bottom 5 they're going to be out qualifying, and they are Boxer last season runner-up, Sam Green there. He was 6th in the championship last season, or 7th there. Coopely, I think he's in great form, and then AC Immortal, the 100% world champion. And also we have got German, the season 6 champion, also out qualified at the moment. 3 3/4 minutes to go. Qualls has elevated himself to 5th at the moment. I'm wondering if they come out a bit early. Do you think it's going to make them a bit concerned about? Do you think that's going to make them a bit concerned about maybe getting sucked into this relegation battle and to make it through, or to make it through or not make it through qualifying? Through then, well, that remains to be seen. Back on board Boxstar as well. Look at the direction change out of Boxstar. 7/10 of a second. That's a much bigger improvement then. That would get him into the early 27s at the very least. I do admit, when I'm on board with drivers from gold, from drivers from silver, or drivers from bronze, I am absolutely delighted by what I see then. I'm absolutely in awe when I just watch these drivers go to work. It's a magical thing to see. And they're at 27.1, they're going second fastest there for Boxstar. Is that safe? Possibly. I don't think anyone could ever see that they're really safe in gold. Can they really? Then the track does ramp up quite a bit, doesn't it? Mr. Rage out on a lap then as he is coming down the back. Straight Chaz has retired from the session in 5th position. Serious Russian joined at 5. Gosh, that's quite scary, isn't it? ALR's been running for 6 years. But yeah, Formula 2018 was our debut season. We had a bit of we was meant to have 18 races in the end, but there's a bit of kerfuffle at the end of the calendar, which it was kind of running it. Because our first season started, I think, in March, and I think that we would we was racing on the first week at F1 2019. The former head admin of way back then, Mr. Rage going at third fast, so that might be safe indeed. Then very close to the back of box style. It's very impressive indeed. Then the former admin of the first ever admin of ALR suggested that we bin off the final race of the season then and just have like and then just have two very quick races at the end to get us up to 17 races. Of course, I think in today's day and age, ALR would not fly whatsoever. Of course, we're very structured, a very structured kind of organisation, kind of thing. We don't really like bringing tracks forward and taking tracks back and all that kind of malarkey. Mainly because the amount of hard work that goes into the thumbnail and all that kind of stuff. And I can say I certainly don't do any of that work. Goodness me. One thing that I never get my head around, and one thing I do actually think of incredible, always like graphics and all that kind of good stuff. That is something I would never be able to do. As Marky going 5th passes, I think, and I'm not sure we've completed that lap yet. Equals is retired from the session, and whilst I've been monologuing instead of narrating this qualifying session, Troy's retired from the session as well. Not worried about that. Because all those guys things have to get that. Equals is going to be nervous to lift over his shoulder, I think, and maybe Chaz as well. Coop then on board Nannin. I've been doing this out there, but there's a car right in the middle of the road here. Who is that? That's the LP. No, it's the Williams, I should say. I apologise. There's one of the Williamses then just came around the front turn. I don't think Immortal's back in the session, you know, with 18 seconds to go then. So Immortal's out of qualifying and Coop only 12 passes there, unfortunately, for the Ferrari driver. And he is going to be done as well. And German also out of qualifying. There is some, that's two major shots in this one at the moment. Oh dear, oh dear. Lobby restart after qualifying has finished bar percent. Most will be worn tyre runs and Sarah's saying and Equals he's out. He reckons that Equals is out then. I was saying that that's going to be very nervous here, isn't it? Marquis has backed off here at the moment, so it's Marquis then trying to harvest and go for another run then potentially. But maybe he felt that his delta was down there, because that is of course all drivers get their delta to know what's going on. He hasn't got enough time. The checkered flag is out. I'm talking nonsense. Liam has invalidated his time here, and Liam I think is unfortunately going to be out of qualifying as well potentially, because here comes Green. Liam and oh no, because Green's invalidated as well. Both Haas drivers then are very much staring into the abyss. They are staring into the abyss because Slop has gone full fast as both McLarens are through here. Lovely, but unfortunately that means that we have lost the two Haas then. Both of them invalidated their time, and I think that's it for qualifying. A bit of a damn squid at the end there. Gamer goes 8 passes there. All the drivers in the top 10 are through, and Coop there just crawling back to the pits. And so unfortunately that is it there for the drivers, and unfortunately Percy goes fast there. Only the second driver to go into the 26 is right at the end of this qualifying session there. Percy fast in qualifying too. Unfortunately, both passes out of qualifying, disappointingly. Coop up in the 12th, great stuff. Immortal, unfortunately, and German didn't set a time in qualifying too. They're both out of qualifying and down in 14th and 15th position now. Very much not the part of the grid that they would have expected to be on. Right in the centre of that carbon fibre zone as well. And of course, that is where you can potentially get involved in all kinds of shenanigans there, and that is going to be disappointing indeed then for two champions of the ALR, what are we? The ALR Racing Pro. I don't think that's the right word at all, is it? I'm trying to say big words like that to make me sound like I've got a much bigger IQ than 69, which is so wrong. Well, that guy's not out. He is through then. Nice one, Liam. Serious Mushroom was saying then he was qualified 11th there. I think that Serious Mushroom was saying nice one about the was saying nice one about the slipstream then on the back straight. 2,300 seconds separates Milan and Percy. Milan in a different postcode at the moment, isn't he, in terms of pace. And German out of qualifying, didn't set a time. Same with Immortal as well. I don't think Immortal's in the session. I'm not sure if he got an invite or not. Sam Green in the 13th position. Coop in 12th. Liam in 11th position. And Equals. Coop also doing a great job in 12th position, as Equals has just acknowledged there. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Right, as we move on into qualifying 3. I'm going to be honest. No, I'm not going to say it then. then. Yes, let's say it then. Let's say it. I think I don't want to put the kibosh on Milan or nothing, but I do think that he is incredibly quick in this qualifying session, and very much similar to for real life Formula One, where Max Verstappen almost certainly is going to be on pole position these days. But I would say. Ooh, it's got very dark over there. Very overcast and gloomy here in Miami. I would say that, of course, that's the beauty about live sport. You can never be certain until it happens there. And as now we get going into qualifying three for the battle for pole position. Sorry, I had a big old yawn coming. So out of qualifying. Now it comes. It's Marky out the pits first. Of course, got the Friday Mercedes out there as well. There's burnt one under. We just said a lot of burnt last week, didn't we? Hopefully, we don't see much more. Hopefully, don't see too much burnt one under. He is a swell guy, isn't he? Doing the safety car now for a number of years. When did Burnt Malander take over from the safety car? I must admit, I thought it was 2002, but I don't believe that is, because I think it was Oliver Gavin, wasn't it, before? The touring car guy. We did a lot of the races there. But, I think the Burnt Malander, I thought it was 2002, but I think I'm sure that that's much later, and I think I'm telling absolute lies there. Right, as we're now onto this now. You know me, dude, then, who's also joined the session. Hello, my good sir. I think vertical pole is Sir much playing movement and have more faith while we made his debut in bronze last week. Good job indeed there. Yes, mate. As we have now, the hearts has been spammed. I love it. Usually it's me doing the hearts, then spamming the hearts. Of course, Tony Nosey, he's luckily for you guys in silver, you don't have this ginger fool in the commentary box. Now you've got Nosey back in action. Of course, tell you, and I think the advantage as well of having Nosey in the commentary box, you get an actual proper ear. No, it's not gorgeous. Goodness me. You hear about noises. Oh no! And Percy, unfortunately, spin the car. I remember he had the exact same issue as Indigo's left the session, but Indigo's out of qualified. He had the exact same issue, but I think he had a wheel issue, didn't he? In this 100% race, didn't he, when we did the 100% around here? And unfortunately, Percy had to retire. So hopefully that's not the start of any technical gremlins there on Percy. Then, of course, Percy is the championship leader. And only was a championship leader, I'm sure, this time last season as well for Percy there. But he's really, he's had I think all the top runners have had some major issues. That car is being airy. Look at that then. And that is issues galore there for Percy. Hopefully he's got a lot of space there. Of course, Charles Leclerc spun around there as well in qualifying in Miami a couple of races ago as well. So we've just got Milan there coming up to the danger zone then. Marky has done a 30 flat to open us up then. Oh, before flying past there. I think Milan is going to have something handy if he doesn't do a Milan now. Well, at the moment, he certainly isn't doing a Milan, is he? He, as I said, he's been in an incredible rich run of form at the moment, and in the both qualifying sessions, yeah, he did second in the end, I think, in qualifying 2. But he did that time so earlier on in the session, and the track would have been rubbing in quite heavily in the last 10 minutes after the start of the session. First, they could get out as well. I think that's what he's going to flag out there. Unfortunately, first, did get his first start very sort of tall. He's got 8 minutes, and this is quite a long lap around here, isn't it? Of course, we're doing like 127s on average there. So, and that's drivers in their tip-top form as well. 27.5 for Marky. So it is a long old lap around here. We have got Milan going on a 26.7 there. For pole position there for Milan, absolutely stupendously done. 8/10 of a second in front of Marky Milan is very impressive stuff indeed there. I'm going for his 15th pole position of his career in ALR, which will put him second on his own now. Of course, he's displaced Jonathan Cox now for second in the pole position at stake said. Just watching Equals, who is on the back straight. Here is the Aston Martin driver. The final turn, thank goodness I'll read all your comments that minute. As Equals comes into the I think you may have got a bit of stage right there. I'm looking for a AlphaTauri, but the AlphaTauri is not on the lap at the moment, so I'm looking for a McLaren. the Ron McLaren, isn't it? There. Here's Boxtel. Of course, Boxtel's got a few pole positions in his career in ALR, but I do think he's a bit behind the 8 ball when Boxtel is. No, I am wrong. He has done a 26.7 there. Absolutely thrown me to the side. Boxtel has magnificent stuff indeed, and we have got a battle for pole position between Boxtel and Milan. That's why you never listen to me. That is incredible. Wow, absolutely incredible stuff indeed there. That is the beauty about live sports, isn't it? It's never over until it's over there. Troy's gone third fast on the 27-1 there, but Boxtel has come out of nowhere and has really thrown down the gauntlet to Milan. Now, I am wondering then what is going to happen now then, because up to this point so far, it has been Milan who's been looking incredible, but Boxtel has just really thrown it wide open. That's what we love, don't we, about live sport? I absolutely love it. So we got a battle for pole position, and it's a lot closer than what I thought it'd be, and that is a beautiful thing to see and hear. A gamer coming out of the out from over the underpass there. Milan's a different great on this game, though. He certainly is the GP. Good evening, GP on the season 4 bronze champion there. Great to have you in the comments there. Haha, cheers. I got hit a lot, not going live, but for example, we're hoping to be racing Miami. Gamer going at 6 fast and then Chaza, who's invalidated his time there. I think he's a bit of a close shave there. Percy is going for another bite of cherry now. The yellow flag in front of us. As you got Troy there just also cruising back in then. So let's see what Percy can do there. Of course, he's spun around here, didn't he? I'm not sure if there's a wheel issue or if it was just a mistake there from Percy. So we'll find out now. Mushroom with the commentator's curse, haha. He is still going, it's all good. Usually me that curse people, so it's nothing new then. Yeah, so get the push there. As soon as Mushroom said that Percy's going to get pole position and Percy's spun it. Look at this commitment, absolutely love it, and it's really good stuff indeed there. As Percy, super Percy's head then was for a very minute second there, just pulling over to the right hand side there, was the top there. That's just the G-forces there, absolutely brutal on the old neck there. Here's Percy now coming up on the long back straight as well, and you see touching 214 miles an hour before going breakdown into just 60 miles an hour. Incredible brake horsepower on these cars, lovely. I see Milan right at the top of the time on the TT type board, so he's quick, isn't he? No uppers in the top 10 then. Brooksy Chaza, indeed, yes, Chaza is in 8th position at the moment now. Purple in the second sector there for Percy flies past now. Got right, I've really hurt and I'm actually crying. Right, here comes Percy. Very unstable again, out of turn 17 there, so interesting stuff for Percy. A pole position there for Percy. Good heavens above there. And you can see, never count anyone out there. That is the beauty about Grand Prix racing. The beauty about ALR. It is just absolutely sensational. And anything can happen in Grand Prix races, Murray Walker used to say all the time, and he is so right, isn't he? Absolutely magnificent. 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. Oh, I missed Chaz, my bad. Of course, he was in the hearts there. Chaz down the, Equaz down the final part of the lap there. Percy pole, Milan second, Boxtel in third position. The times are so tight at the top there. Anything can happen there. The blink of an eye. If you make a mistake, which is about the kingdom of blink of an eye, Equaz does be fast. Then you will not get pole position. And now here comes Milan. He is out. He is serious. He wants pole number 15 of his career here in ALR Coupe. What a lap, Percy. What an incredible lap there for Percy. Magnificent stuff indeed. What can Milan do now? What can Milan do now then? Of course, I don't think Milan, like us, well, you've got to say like us, you guys probably didn't think that at all, did you? But like us, I don't, like me, Milan knew that this was going to be a battle. He was not taking anything for granted. Wesley Milan wasn't a two-time Grand Prix winner. Of course, his 69th Grand Prix starter tonight in ALR. That's how long Milan has been with us. And he is now wants to get another pole position then in his cap and be second on his own in the overall pole position stakes. And he is now on the back straight there. 2.5 minutes to go in this session. He has now got a deep breath then. So Milan there, he's had pole position so many times before. He is an absolute incredible master in one lap territory. And on this, and as Sir said, he's a different gravy on this game as well, isn't he? DRS. Let's go. 2 minutes in this session left, man. Milan breaking down into turn 1 now. Look at how much Kirby takes on the outside. And this is it then. It is all enough. Now Milan has given him now enough time that if he makes a mistake, he can go around again then. But he needs to if he's going to make a mistake, it needs to be early on in this lap then. I love this first second there. I'm not sure about you guys, but I am just absolutely holding on there. Riding this lap with Milan every inch of the way is incredible. He's purple in the first sector. He's a tenth of a second up. Milan is. Remember that the lap record around here for pole position is a 26.5 from Boxtel last season. They may not get there, but I haven't said that. Milan is very much in the ballpark at the moment now. Out of the back straight now, then coming into the technical twisty part of the circuit. The sun is beginning to set here in the Miami Gardens. It's now chicane now. I don't think the car was very settled there from Lambo. I don't think the cars are ever settled there. And on the back straight now, then Milan has got to wait for the DRS, and he knows the DRS is just there. Beep. He doesn't even hear the beep then in his ear as he is coming down now into 17, 18, and 19 here. Then look at how much space he has there. On the outside, absolutely nothing there. He wants to minimize the turning circle of the Mercedes out of the final turn. Then it's a 26.6. It is a 26.6 there. And it is pole position by half a tenth of a second there. Milan is on pole position for the 14th, 15th time in his career and doing donuts as well. Oh my goodness. Boxtel 6,400 a second up there. What about Troy? Troy is starting his lap now. There's a McLaren behind us of a Sloth also starting his lap. There is a Williams out there of Percy. 20 seconds ago, Percy has timed this absolutely spectacularly well. He might be last man over the line as we have got Mr. Raging Bull half a second up there. Out of 17 there, out of 18, out of 19 there. Here comes Mr. Raging Bull. He is at the 26 as well. He is full fastest up for Mr. Raging Bull. Oh my good grief. Here is Boxtel, 6,800 a second up there. That might be enough for second position there. Let's see about his monstrous final sector there. He is third fast in the end and 3,000 a second there off the pace of Boxtel. I think that was all in. That was all the car had to offer in the end there. What an incredible qualifying section this has been. Markey hugging the inside there, going on the third row there. Chazano displaced him almost instantly there by 200th of a second there. It's so close in this qualifying section there. The champion Troy down in fifth position on the gamer has abandoned his time. Come into the pit lane now. Unfortunately, here comes Troy then out of turn 16, and there is car 17, the world champion. Then at the moment, in Chaz is 6th, Markey 7th there, Equals 8th, Gamer 9th, Slot Bear is still on a lap then. Boxtel is still in third position both there. Here comes Troy. What has he got there in the what's gone the Mercedes? He's full fast, so Mr. Rage is down into 5th there. What about Sloth? He goes 9th fast as well. Percy then, and Yellow Flex then is Troy just getting, sorry, that was the other Mercedes of Milan, get out of the way. Cam Percy hasn't got anything. Is this, he's on pole position there for 26.5 for Percy. Absolutely incredible stuff there. That is pole position there, and he has done it by the minutest of margins. What an incredible end to qualifying. Percy pole position there. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, absolutely wonderful qualifying that was there. Really, really good stuff indeed. And that is Percy's 8th pole position of his career in ALR by 8,300 a second. And he's going to remember that one for a very long time, I think. My goodness gracious me. Oh, I am absolutely in awe of that. That's fantastic stuff indeed there. And that has beaten the all-time fastest lap around here as well. It was a 26.582 last season, a 26.564 this season. By 200 a second, Percy's gone quicker than last season's pole position time. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. That is also Percy's the first driver of the season and to have two pole positions then this season. Really good stuff indeed there for Percy. Magnificent. Oh, and he got two in a row as well. Fantastic. My word, I got to say, I've given myself indigestion, which isn't good, is it? Absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Coop, what a lap there. I told you, handbag pole, I mean Percy. KD, hello, fellas. Good evening to you, KD. We got Coop, a huge lap there from Equaz there. So, KD, should have been better there. Equaz saying not much, was sleeping after a long night at work then. Goodness me. Yeah, I think I'm the only one in this lobby, and now, so we're going to just jump out of this one and well, I'll wait to quit actually. Yeah, so I'm just going to jump out of this one and go into the other lobby because the reason why I jumped into another lobby is that Farf's young boy has. Has unfortunately turned his PlayStation, well, didn't turn his PlayStation off, removed the power cable from the back of his PlayStation, which is absolutely fantastic stuff here. I love that. I think that I got to be honest, I think that was absolutely hilarious to hear that. Right, as I'm just now going to jump into the other session, and we'll be getting going just shortly then. Yeah, it's Lazy Sunday. Sundays is just being lazy, isn't there? Cheers, Russian Troy will still win then. Unfortunately, Boxtel lost it in the final set today. Yeah, Boxtel. I think the Boxtel was very much at the limit of that McLaren car, wasn't he? Was very much at the limit of that McLaren, wasn't he? But that is exactly what we want to see, isn't there? And he just couldn't find that final couple of times. That top four is disgusting, laugh out loud. Then it is absolutely a joke, isn't it? Wow, what a qualifying, haha. Says Rash, let's see you all and next time restart, laugh out loud. Yeah, it's just far from it's just far short. Don't worry about that. Right, so, oh, is everyone almost in now? Are they waiting for me? That's absolutely shocking behaviour, isn't it? There we go. You know, I haven't even got an excuse really. Everyone else is like, got a, everyone else is racing, so they kind of, so they certainly should, so they do have an excuse because they're probably not going to be looking at our Discord. And then there's me, who's, got the advantage of just seeing what's going on in the comments and stuff. And yeah, no, I was the last one in. Absolutely shocking behaviour. When he forgot to take the power cable out. That's class. I was actually, it was actually, I think, Far's son, and I think his oldest son, that took the power cable out of the back of his PlayStation, which, which of course then meant that he left the lobby kind of thing. Then, so that's why we're just getting back in this. That's why we're just getting back in the lobby now. So yeah, we are going to blame Far because, yeah. Because of course we're always going to blame Favre. John, these things happen. I mean, I find that hilarious. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, Sarah's rushing. Set up, set up, set up. Gentlemen, drivers are listening to me, which I hope you're not. And then of course, we're going for. Of course, make sure you get your setups on. Keep up, Sean. We haven't got all night, blimey. I know. I know. To be honest, I am looking forward to bedtime tonight. I didn't go to sleep till very late last night. Yeah, I did. I did go out for a cheeky old drink then, but it was actually. I wanted to watch. Should I be ashamed to say all this because I'm 30 odd years old? I do still like a bit of old wrestling and stuff, but I've got no shame in it to be honest. But unfortunately, I fell asleep for most of it, which is shocking behaviour. When I woke so annoyingly, I fell asleep after I can't remember what match it was now. After I think it was the one of the first or second matches, and I woke up at something like 5, 6 this morning. Cramp on my old rear butt cheek, unfortunately, and also missed all of the wrestling, so I'm absolutely devastated by that. So basically, I feel tired for no reason whatsoever. Then shocking behaviour. Then setups, yes, indeed. There we've always got Sean. You get lazy days to expect. It involves you giving us great commentary. Thank you very much, KD. I don't think there's nothing great about this commentary, though, is there? As unfortunately, I've been talking about me cramping in my left old cheek, really. Right, we've also got Tango. Troy has been complaining a lot in practice for this one, so might stand out for qualifying. Tango is saying that's what I like to hear. Because I only hear bits of information there, and of course the drivers are not going to say in the paddock area or things like that they're struggling qualifying, because I'll give you an edge, won't it, in the a mental edge in this game, which, to be honest, it depends on how seriously or not you take it, really. I never say, like, when I used to race, I never said if I was struggling or not, but I think you all knew I was struggling, because I usually I usually go straight to the wall in turn one kind of thing, and I also struggle to find my brake. Yeah, so that is very interesting to hear about Troy having issues, and about Troy having issues there. So yeah, that's a very fair point there for Tango. So that is Tango star qualifying. Ooh, I didn't really have a star qualifying. I'll have a think in a minute then. Move in. I was only joking, mate. I had a SummerSlam last night. So did I. But unfortunately, I didn't make it past the first match. I think I didn't even make it past the pre-show, to be honest, which is quite horrific. So yeah, absolutely. I'm a man who has to sleep at least 23 hours a day for my beauty sleep and all that kind of stuff. Equals, fire. KD, fire for Equals as well. Troy is always moaning. He could moan at his own shadow then. It depends. If his own shadow kept following him, then I would moan as well. If riders were getting to the race, I should say. Goodness me, sorry, I was wetting my whistle. Nosey, Tango's tactical tasters, and yes, Tango's going to be our own. Yes, I like that. We should have a segment, should we, of Tango's tactical tasters, and he tells us who drivers are doing well, which drivers are not doing well, and give us an oversight as well. I'm starting to think I'm gonna take Roman Reigns' title down myself. Haha. Yeah, he's been 3 years now, isn't he? Goodness gracious me, but he is the head of the table, isn't he? The only thing I moan right now is that damn stadium, in the background. So we have to play the Dolphins, the first game of NLF. Who do you support in the NLF? NLF, KD. Sean, are you okay? No, I'm not. I'm never okay, Marshall. I'm never okay. Oh gosh, hang on a minute. I was almost phoned the ambulance. Then I was trying to take a very sneaky drink, and that went down the complete wrong way. Right, yes. As we get on, then I do struggle with the NLF. Don't get me wrong. I'm one of those. I'm not gonna say I'm a fan. I don't know anything about the NRF. I do love like the Super Bowl and things like that. So I'm one of those. I'm one of those shallow fans, to be honest. Los Angeles Chargers. Good stuff indeed. Then I don't really, as I was saying, I don't really know anything about the NLF. So you might have to teach me, KD, because I know absolutely nothing. I think I tried playing the NLF game way back. Gosh. Um, yeah, none of you were probably born there then. I think I had the NLF 2007 or 8 game. No idea about the plays or anything. I got absolutely wiped. That was the end of it. Lights are on then. Here we go for the start of the Miami Grand Prix. Pole position for Percy. It's lights out. And here we go then. Percy gets away, but I think Milan's alongside him already. Going down into turn one. He is then. And look, Milan takes the lead. Percy and Milan then. And I think there's no love lost between these drivers. And they are now all shot away. Oh, and who's that? That's Boxtel. Boxtel is off then. And major problems there for Boxtel. He has damaged the car. That is not good at all. Boxtel had a great qualifying, but right at the back of the field now, unfortunately, and that is not good at all. And Milan takes the lead then on the inside going into turn one. Then Percy's second, and they were getting very close. Then Equals at 4 positions, 5 positions for Indigo, 6 positions for Nigel. Then as Marky and Gamer are now side by side. Then no DRS then for the opening 3 laps here. So there's going to be a lot of slipstream then. Oh goodness me, and Gamer had to take a face of action. Remember, Marky has really struggled in these races, been involved in so many shenanigans there. Mr. Rage now and Equals have switched in 4th and 5th position there. And now yellow flag in turn 2. Then there's one of the Alfa Romeos off. It's German off the circuit down at the back of the field. As we are now going into these chicanes. And Cooper having a look on the inside there. That Haas has been almost spun around the Sam. He's lost the position now. Nigel up the inside then. Molto in 15th. Vezi 16th. Nolte 17th. Siege 18th. German 19th. And 20th position is Boxtel. Down 17th position as we come up to complete lap 1 of this Grand Prix. Everyone on the soft or medium tyres then. KD and poor Geordie then. Boxstars no luck there. Out of the final turn and it's a complete lap. Look, Milan leads the race and of course a 2-time Grand Prix winner. Percy in second position at the moment, and Percy a multiple Grand Prix winner. I can't remember how many he's had now. Let me have a look. 9 Grand Prix wins there for Percy. This could be his 10th Grand Prix win in his career tonight. And Troy in third. 4th is Mr. Rage. Great start from Mr. Rage. Equals in 5th position. Chaz is down to 6th, but he's on the hard tire. Same with Sloth. Marky on medium. Indigo up into 9th position. Fantastic 17. Nigel's got through past the Ferrari and is now in the 12th position. Very unique overtaking there from Nigel. Then he's on the hard tire side. Nigel wants to get some points on the board. So does Vez as well. Those are the only 2 drivers not to score so far this season in the ALR Gold. And now going on to the back straight. Still no DRS. Box style on the medium tires as he comes out the pit. So he's going to need a safety car now, unfortunately, for Box style. Very much right down the order as Milan there is, as Mushroom said, I love this say, by the way, he's a different gravy, isn't he, this season? As Marky is through, or is he? Because look, Slop is on the inside there, but I think that Marky is going to be through. He is through, up into 7th position now. Marky is using those medium tires to his advantage then, down the back straight. And I wonder what's, is Sloth almost into the wall then, but he just about survived that. Then Marky is out of DRS of Chaza, so he's going to really have to put his toe down now then to get the DRS on the next lap then. Same with Purse then, as he is out of the DRS zone by 24 hundredths of a second there. Coop and Nigel swapping positions once again. Here he is then, and goodness gracious me, that these 2 have swapped positions twice now, 3 times there. Here is the champion Nigel from season 1. Over the grid hatch as well, and he is on lap 3 now with this one. And you can see then it's very tight at the moment. Box out about 24 seconds behind at the moment. Milan leads the way, but Percy has got that gap down to under a second, which is crucial in this race. Well, just to say that's gone up to a second now, but that part is crucial. And Troy has been gapped to about 2 seconds already in this one, as German is lost the wing. It's a VSC there for German. I think both those drivers would rather have had a full safety car instead of just a VSC at the moment. Nas Good got a set of hard tyres to use. Brooks saying the best safety car Milan will be on the back foot. Yes, potentially. I do think though, if there's an early safety car, I do think it will. Not when I say an early safety car, not on too early safety car. But if they do have a safety car, I think it'll be the drivers on the medium tyres that are grinning rather than the drivers on the hard tyres. That'd be my opinion anyway. As now it's just watching. Tango, I like his comp, by the way. I completely missed that. VSC's out. I do have Ted Star of Bumbling Mess. I love Ted Crowix. I think he's absolutely amazing. DRS is now available, so yes, we love that Tango. We do love Bumbling Mess in the ALR. That's why they've employed me for so long. Equals has passed and up into 4th position, and so now it's a VSC, a drive-through penalty for speed under the safety car. We've got another VSC. No, I thought we was back racing. So, that's unusual, isn't it? So, not sure what happened there. Well, I think it's me completely misreading it. But yeah, we're now racing again. And Equals is 4th, and Mr. Rage is 5th at the moment. All over the back of Troy. And we did hear though from Tango's technical tips that it is Troy who is currently who's on the back foot, isn't there, in terms of setup around this circuit for Troy. He is in 3rd position at the moment, but I think that Troy would be happy to get some decent points on the board. I would have to guess, and German has gone to soft tyres very early on in this one. Gamer who's made first 10 position. Remember, he is 3rd of the championship on Gamer. Yeah, he's 3rd in the championship on the Gamer, and just on board with a game, but then there's just, oh my goodness me, and Sloth and Indigo. I don't think that's caused damage on either cars there, but I feel that might have been too much of a late maneuver there potentially for Indigo. and Slop there, being Slop, if he does have damage, it should only be minute there, but oh dear, I think that was a too late of a defensive maneuver there, I think then. Just on the back straight once again then, we have got Troy's lost out there. Look at that, Eggwaz has just breezed past there with the DRS available. Troy down into a 4th at the moment and having a difficult start to the championship campaign, or championship defence. Green up into 30th position there with Nigel now dropping down into 14th as that's a bit unfortunate there for Nigel. DRS straight on the start finish there. I don't think that we're going to get many overtakes down to turn 1 personally. I think it'll be down into 17 where our action zones are. So I don't think we're going to have many overtakes into turn 1 there. Markey all over the back of Chazza. Markey has broke the DRS zone from Indigo, and I think Markey will be very happy with this as he's got through the first shenanigans of this race then. But of course, anything can happen then around this one. So this is technically a street circuit. This is, oh no, and there's more contact then now between Slop and Gamer, and box outs at the far side of the race. I think that I'm not sure if Slop then had oversteer and tried to correct it there. Both drivers have lost out quite badly to Indigo by 2 seconds. Chazza has lost out to Markey. Gamer up into 9th position. I wonder if Slop does have damage. I'll be surprised if he has damage, to be honest. With you, Cooper from 211th position now. Good stuff indeed there for the Ferrari driver then, all over the back of Slop. All the back of Slop, and he was trying to recover. Well, I would say trying to recover then. He had a bit of a swapperoo, didn't he? And unfortunately, Game was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Chazza dropping down in 7th position as Markey is absolutely on a charge. He's up into 6th position now. Markey is in the Alpine. This a difficult start to the season there. Markey was very unlucky. So Troy then having a snip on Equaz at the moment, but no dice then. Equaz currently 4.5 seconds away from the top 2. Milan leads. Percy second still then. So it is as you were at the start of the at the top of the standings, at the top of the classification at this moment then. Into the pits does come Slop, so Slop does have damage then as we go into the pit lane. Well, no, let's see them, but he's on the hard tyres, and you would not want him coming to the pits just yet, and into the pits now. He does have damage, and I'm assuming it is from either the contact with Indigo or if it is the issues with Gamer then, but I think the damage was done already. But both McLarens then right to the back of the field. Now that is not ideal at all, and that's the understatement of the race so far, isn't it? You're just watching Troy in front of us, because we're on board Mr. Raging Bull, who's becoming a major fixture in golf. Then we've loved having him here, isn't he? Of course, when he started driving Haas, a pole sitter already there. Pole sitter already then for Mr. Raging Bull. Back in Monza, one of my favourite moments of last season. Absolutely stupendous performance there. He is currently 5th position in the Red Bull, going over the curbs then, just before it comes into the back straight as well. And look, there's Markey. Markey's got some pace in that Alpine. He's looking absolutely on fire at the moment now. As now coming down into turn 17 then. Being the Mr. Raging Bull is a bit too far back. It's only, I'd say, too far back. It's only 3 tenths of a second away, isn't it? So it's not really too far back at all, but far back enough for him not to make a lunge then. Then in 10th position now in the Ferrari. Of course, the only score for Ferrari team runner down in 10th in the Constructors' Championship on a very miserable 4 points at the moment. All constructors have scored now in gold, but that is not ideal at all from Ferrari's point of view, is it? And just watching Cooper, we've got a great 8th position last time out in the old. Race in Baku. We're just now watching the Ferrari driver then as he is trying to keep up with Gamer at the moment. He's in 10th. Gamer is on the harder tire, and he's had a great start to the season. Gamer hasn't he? He's still 3rd or 4th in the championship, and he missed the last race in Baku. So really impressive stuff out from Gamer. Very much consistency. Very much consistency is the name of the game. As Knowlesy very close to the back of Besley here. Troy has got past Equaz on the end of the straight, and here comes Knowlesy there now getting past Besley. Equaz has lost 2 positions there, and I want to see what's happening here then, because it's getting very fine, getting very close here. Oh goodness me, and on full Equaz, I tried to sneak on the inside to that chicane now. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, and then Chazza as German in the race, in the pits, out of the Prix, and unfortunately there for the Season 6 champion, and he has called it a day. That is unfortunate indeed. Sir was mentioned about German on soft tyres there. I wonder if that was a mistake then from the team, and German is furious with his team then potentially. Out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. Very early on though to call it a day, I think of course because anything can happen in this race. Safety cars or anything can really bring you back into this one there. But of course, I should not say this, but I would understand calling it a day later on in the race, then probably like maybe lap 25 or something like that, then, or like between like lap 25 and 27 when there's obviously not going to be a safety car anymore. But it's very early stages of this race, and it might be my last race for a while. My internet is unplayable, German is saying, and so that's why he's out of the race then, unfortunately. So German there probably taking himself out then because his internet is shocking. Someone else had a shocking internet, and very beautifully pulled out the way, didn't they? As well. So good 17. I was but yeah. That's why I don't have the spirit of ALR. That's why I don't great. Watching Marky and having a look on the inside of Equals. Nothing doing just yet. Nothing doing just yet then. Watching, so just look at this, as we go through the chicane once again. Chancellor, I think, is going to be very happy with this, and we're already on lap 8, we're already going to see this is flying by. Oh, God. Chancellor's going to be very happy with this in the hard tyres though. Percy, I think, is going to be very happy as well. He's a second and a half back from Milan now. So is Troy. Troy's about 6 seconds back there. As once again, Mr. Rage now is having a look there. Up the inside, passes the world champion. And Mr. Rage up into third position. Troy's come back at him now because Mr. Rage has just got absolutely no purchase there coming out of 17. Goodness gracious me. He does not have DRS, does he now? So Troy there gets to extend his advantage. Vezzi's got the first penalty of the session here. And so that's not good at all. It's for Vezzi then, who is a nightmare start to this to his campaign. Watching Equals in the Aston Martin. Yellow flag in one, and it's the Ferrari. It's Vesley off the circuit. Vesley, you just got a safety car, and that's what I mean about safety car. Then it's a anything can happen versus a safety car. I'm not sure why. Vesley's supposed to hold the wing in this right in the action point of turn one. Then so Vesley has brought out the safety car peak after his issue there in the Ferrari, and he'll be able to come in there and change that nose cone and catch it to the back of the crocodile. It does depend though what these drivers going to do. Then this is perfect, I think, for the medium tyres. They're going to go on to. So don't mention Chazza, it is Spanish then, so for to say that. Milan rather underwhelming on pace, and undercut is going to be a crucial Tango is saying that. Also Tango said if he's in the Verstappen seat, then he's been possessed by defending like that. In regards to Indigo, defended on Sloth earlier on this race, which I think is where Sloth got damaged, but I'm only guessing on that one now. So I think anyone on the medium tyres will be happy with this, because they come in the pit lane, go on to the hard tyres to the end of the race. I would hazard a guess that. Anyone on the hard tyres will be a bit disappointed, I think, about this. But let's see that. Percy into the pits as well. So yeah, he has to come in the pits then, because the amount of time you will lose then is a drive-through penalty for Boxtel for speeding under a safety car. Oh, goodness me. Now, it's not really what you want to be doing then. A lot of drivers in the pits, and Percy in the pits was the Mercedes mechanics. Are they ready? No, they're still getting ready then for Troy, who is now going to be on the medium tyres. And I think the medium tyres, so they're going to get through to the end of the race from here on in. It's going to be a squeeze of this there. Oh dear, then he's going to get spicy then. That spared Milan's bit of pace blushes at the moment. Undercut is massive on this game, and which is why everyone, I think, is going to the pits then as well. Tango, oh, someone's gone through, Coop. Then that was Gamer. Goodness gracious me. Yeah, that is right. Of course, Tango and Sarah, especially then, just confirming about the undercuts and confirming about the safety cars really helps a lot of drivers. Like Milan, for example, then as they're also coming in the so into the pits because Vettel then changing the nose cone in the Ferrari, and now he comes back out of the pits as well. Box style on the medium tyres and Sloth right behind his teammate, and so he's going to lose an abundance amount of time. Luckily, though, of course, he's at the back of the field, so he shouldn't lose any positions. Who has lost positions then in this one then is at Troy, because the Mercedes mechanics weren't ready for him because they just serviced Milan, who is still leading this race at the moment. That means that he has lost out to Mr. Raven Bull, who's now into third position in the Red Bull race. And Will he be able to stay there? That is a different story entirely, but I must say that he does have the pace out there at the moment, but Troy, we'll see how he goes on those medium tires, because now he will be the quicker of the two cars, and that means that Equals Marky will be on the slower tires. So let's see if Troy can pull away from these guys. Hard runners on the back foot is what Katie is saying. Then Serious Russian said that too. And Jordy's race is done, and he's got to drive through. Could be another safety car though. Yes, it could be another safety car. I mean, this is a street circuit to all intents and purposes, albeit it is in the car park. Oh gosh, there's Milan almost into the back of the Aston Martin there. Probably, I think he's unhappy with Burnt Milan's pace here, and probably wants him to speed up ever so slightly for Milan. But just watching now then. But yeah, so both Serious Mushroom and KD is saying that the hard runs are on the back. Into the pits comes Siege then. So Siege in the pits now, changing the nose cone. So Siege, there must have been an issue out there. He's back on the medium tyres on Siege is. We're about a couple laps away from half distance, and he's out of the pits now, Siege is. Let's see what I can do from here on in. But that nose cone issue must have happened when he was beyond the safety car, or the mechanics did not choose to replace it then as we go past the harbour. Which there is some water there now, isn't it? Or is it still fake water? I do not know that. Geez, Milan, what's that Ford Puma then? Yeah, getting very close there, isn't he, Milan is? I'm not sure it's there, but more importantly than that safety car, which isn't important at all, is it? But it's very important in my life. I wonder, is there water down that fake harbour, or is there water in that harbour now, or is it still fake water? That's what I want to know. Which is definitely the most important message of this event, isn't it now? Of course, a lovely quick plug-in then for anyone who's just joined us here in ALR tonight then. Of course, tomorrow night we have got the silver, which is going to be, silver tomorrow night, 7:30 UK time. Bronze, 7:30 UK time on a Tuesday. And on Wednesday, it is not Formula 2, which I keep forgetting about. So we've got a break in Formula 2, but we'll be back, of course, at Imola after a 2-week break. And so no Formula 2 this week, of course, as we're here in Miami. Right, we're going to be back racing in just a jiffy. And let's see how this one goes then. They have got rid of that harbour, have they? Oh, gosh. I can't even remember seeing that on the. I can't even remember hearing that on the actual broadcast there. Look how much Milan is slowing everyone down there. And the reason why he's doing this is the medium tires are going to be quicker to warm up as Marky and Equals have gone into each other. And it's a 5-second penalty then for Equals for going. Looks like there is. Hopefully Marky hasn't damaged his wing then. But that is a horror show if that's the case. And Marky, I really hope he hasn't. He's gone through. He has gone through. Troy is back past Mr. Rage on the outside. And there's me saying that, you ain't going to overtake him down into turn 1 there, but Troy almost proved me wrong there. And now then here is Equals at a 5-second penalty. Marky's lost 0.8 of a second, and I hope that that's just him trying to get his tires up to temperature and not damage there for Marky, who's had the most rottenest of luck then over this season so far. Troy wants to get the job done and dusted quite quickly. They're already a second and a half behind the race leaders there. Troy, from Tango's technical corner, we have heard that Troy is struggling there on pace, but he is back up in the third position. And look, Percy takes the lead. Milan is going to go back on the inside here. On goodness me, there's a rub wheels there, and Milan there is forcing him off there. And Percy had to back out there. Milan get his elbows out here. And look at this, and it's banging wheels, barging wheels, and this is getting very, very feisty then between these two drivers then on the back straight. And there is Troy then. Look at that, their Balin has actually is completely wiped out their advantage almost anyway. And now here comes Percy once again. Then Milan's going to have to get the fence. Percy's going to go on the outside, going to go on the inside, but Milan then decided nope, And oh God, and he's breaking like that, forcing it. Oh no, and Percy's in the wall, and he's out of the race there. Malone there, did he push him into the wall? Should Percy have backed up there? It's a safety car again. Percy out of the race, and my goodness me, that is going to be sending shockwaves here. The championship leader in the wall, out of the race there. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my word, Dennis Sloth is in the pits there, and yes, oh my goodness me, controversy here in Miami between Percy and Milan, and I do feel that I may be wrong on this one. Maybe Percy should have backed out, but I feel that Milan should have given him more space on the outside. But that is just me from a non-stewarding point of view, because every time I call accidents, that is never what transpires. But I feel that Percy was entitled to space on the outside then. That is my first indication of it. I haven't looked at it again, but that feels that that was the case there. And as Percy is not a happy chap, and I must say, I do understand. And we're just watching Milan at the moment, who's leading the way. Oh dear, that is going to be some... that is going to be a very, 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 as I said, it's going to be shockwaves then throughout the community here in ALR. Oh goodness me, then as Brooksy saying pointless fighting by both from Brooksy. And of course Brooksy is a person's engineer, but often not. So interesting insight there from Brooksy there. See, I thought that I was wondering then, because Percy is on the medium tires, so I think he needs to get past Milan so then he can stretch out, because the hard tires should get to the end. I was unsure about the medium tires, and I wonder if Percy was as well. That's why he may want to have got past quickly here. Oh goodness gracious me. I think the head steward, Favre, is certainly going to have his hands full with this one. Or goodness me. As into the pits comes Knowlesy. Green also in the pits as well. Got Siege back in the pits. Goodness me, Siege has had like 2 minutes in the last 2 laps then. So let's see what Green could do there for the Haas team then. Percy's left to Sefchan out of the race, and I think he's going to be absolutely furious about that then. Goodness me, that's an unsafe release there. Oh gosh, Siege in the pits and medium tires again, and Knowlesy on the medium tires as well. Sloth up into 15th position now as well. I can't keep up with the comments here at the moment. Errors. Oh dear. A certain level of respect that these top guys need to learn very fast. I said it before the race started that he was going to give me issues, and don't blame me for saying that, Percy. Then Serious Mushroom with his hands behind his eyes there. Goodness me, you always have to leave the space. Brabber saying there. Have Percy and Brooksy had a parted of ways there. Goodness gracious me. Right, we'll see how this transpires. Everyone does have an opinion on this. I think that the race steward is the only one that matters really, is it there? But goodness gracious me, this is very going to be, I think, this is going to be a bit of a fallout here, isn't there? We seem to have a lot of fallouts in Miami, don't we? Because I think last season we had an incredible battle between Boxtel and Percy going down into turn 17 there as well. It seems to be an action point one. On board the race leader, Milan Ronan, who is the safety cars, come back in the pits, and well, I forgot to mention that Boxtel does have a drive-through penalty and all of this as well. But you see, then the lights are off, but we're going back. We're going back racing now as well. Right then, it's goodness me. If I have to here tonight in Miami. I was going to say this. I think the gold is on the wrong day, isn't it? Sunday's meant to be rest day, meant to be relaxing, but we never have a relaxing race, do we? In ALR, but we are back racing now. Milan leads, Troy seconds now. Mercedes 1-2 with Mr. Raging Bull in third. Equaz fourth, Marky in fifth position. I don't think he's got damage yet. Sixth position is Boxtal, who I think is taking his drive through now, so he's got to take it as early as possible. Indigo at the inside then, but it's a chance of that, giving him a bit of a bit of a peck on the old car before going by. Now Coop is struggling up there. Liam at the inside as well. He's lost 2 positions there. He's on the hard tyres though, Coop is. Medium tyres for Gamer and Liam what about Immortal? Both Williamses are leading the Constructors' Championship. One's out, one's in the 11th position. No points at the moment there for the Williams team there. Oh, goodness gracious me. Guys are just watching AC Moore, Nigel in 12th position there. Betsy in 13th, the only driver then, I think, to have a penalty at the moment there, apart from, as just like Mortal now into the points then, and has put the Williams team on course there to score a point then, at the very least, and I think Mortal will want more than 1 point then, because the former championship leader. We've got, just going back to the front then, Troy is all over the back of Milan here at the moment. Of course, Troy, the world champion then. Milan, who is going for his 3rd Grand Prix of his career, his 2nd race win of the season as well. Then really pushing. Well, then Mr. Raging Bull up in the 3rd then. Equals and 4th. Equals has a 5-second stop-go penalty there for, I'm not sure, was it for collision there, wasn't it, with Markey? Green has got in front of Vesey then. Green is trying to stick up the inside of Slough as well. Cooper is just dropping like a stone then. He can't get... Oh, I'm swallowing my tongue. He can't get some traction in these hard tyres, and then having a look then, no dice at the moment, then going down into turn 1, and I think that there is going to be quite an opinion going on out there at the moment. Goodness gracious me, goodness. Watching Milan, who is leading the way, currently leading this Grand Prix with Troy in 2nd. 3rd position is Mr. Raging Bull. Equals in 4th position there. Boxtel about 10 seconds back after that drive-through penalty. Then it's a horror show at the moment there for Boxtel. First up in collision there, first up issue there for Boxtel, then a drive-through penalty as well, which was hope after that safety car, because he was hoping he'd be brought back into play. But that has not been the case. So Cooper's now lost in their position. He's dropping like a stone out there, Cooper. Slough has got only 3 laps on those medium tyres there. Slough has. So he is going. That may help him come to the end of this race. And same with Sam as well, and Nosey, all pitting then very late on in the under the safety car to get some fresh medium tyres on there. On board at the moment there with Chazza in at 6th position as we now go down into turn 17 as well. I think Indigo though is doing a very good job there of potentially getting some more points there for himself and the Red Bull team. He was disappointed in qualifying, wasn't he? Indigo was, but this race there is. His race there was it's been much more positive, isn't it, on himself and the Red Bull team at the moment. Watching Liam yet, we've got a McLaren on the inside of Nigel. Nigel's not scored a point yet, then, so he's going to be fighting very hard for this position. But somehow Slough sneaks through. My goodness me, I didn't think there was a gap on the outside at all. I thought he was going to cut the blow. Green now on the outside, make that the inside now, and Green up into 13th position. There goes Sam Green is there in the 2nd half. Cooper unfortunately dropped all the way down then to 15th position. I'm sure he's in the top 10 at the early stages when the safety car came in. Now he's down in 14th position. The 2nd Ferrari in at 15th at the moment, as well as Milan has lost the lead then, because look at this, and so the hard runner of Milan then really struggling for pace. And I'm wondering then if there's damage on that Mercedes then after him and Percy was getting very too close for comfort there. Earlier on then is Vesley and Knowles here having an almighty scrap there, and both off the circuit there. And oh dear. And unfortunately, I'm not sure. I reckon one of them may have misjudged the braking point down there and took them both off. But similar to what happened with Kevin Magnussen and De Vries said not so long ago. Back at the front then. 2 Mercedes then are still locking horns at the moment. You can see, look how close it is, and as Milan getting a bit squirrely there. Everyone has got DRS then for the car in front up till seeds then. So this is a mighty DRS train down into turn 1 there. Troy leads, 2nd position Milan, 3rd is Mr. Raging Bull with Equals, 4th Marquis in 5th. Great job. 6th position is Chazza, brilliant. Indigo up 7th, great recovery. Gamer in 8th position. Immortal 9th. Liam down to 10th now as we've just had there's a also just got past Liam, I believe, but those are the top 10 point scorer at the moment. Boxstar down in 7th position, a nightmare race for Boxstar, back on board of Milan. As Vesey out of the Grand Prix, Vesey out of the race, and it's another safety car here, and that's 3 safety cars here. Now, I didn't expect Burn Milan to be so busy in this one. Vesey is out of the race there. The Ferraris are having an absolutely nightmare start to this championship there for Vesey, and unfortunately, he's going to be very disappointed at that then, isn't he? Nosey's on soft tires now to the end of the race. You reckon the soft tires get to the end? I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch. Right, but let's see what everyone else does then. So Troy is this is important. That was an important move there from Troy, wasn't it? Because of course now he is the lead Mercedes, and it would be able to. He is now the lead Mercedes, and they will be able to get service first. As of course, if he comes into the pits, drivers may want to stay out there. But I feel that this is a golden opportunity. Look at how much Milan's gapped. Milan is coming into the pits. You cannot go with more than 10 car lengths from the car in front then. As you can see that Troy has had to slow down there because he was probably over his delta then. So yes, both Mercedes are in then. Is anyone going to stay out though? That is my query. Chaza has stayed out. Chaza has stayed out and gone for track position. Mercedes mechanics are in the pits and more medium tires and for Troy. He is in the pits and let's see. Nigel's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. That's crucial. That is a very crucial indeed then. Milan then, how many positions is he going to lose? And this is a nightmare for Milan, I think then. As well, maybe it is. Maybe it is then. He's out of the pits now and both Aston Martins are queuing as well. Oh gosh, the disqualified. Oh no, Chaz's out of the race then, and he's been disqualified. I think he must have overtaken the safety car, and it is so brutal when you overtake the safety car. You should only get 2 seconds there, but Chaza out of the Grand Prix, and that is a major blow for himself and the Alfa Romeo team. Both Alfa Romeos out of the Grand Prix, out of the race. No points for themselves in the Constructors' Championship. What was looking at a very promising event then. Indigo is now in the box seats. Gamer second. Third is green. All those drivers have not stopped under the safety car. Troy has stopped under the safety car. So is Mr. Raging Bull on medium tyres. Markey on soft tyres in that 6th position. And on course to maybe get a podium here. Of course, that's if they get past the drivers that are on they haven't stopped, of course, then. Milan in 7th position, so he's lost 2 positions, Milan has. It looks a lot worse than what it was, actually, to be fair. I thought that Milan was dropped at least 4 or 5 positions there, but he's still 7th there. A motor up into 8th then. Good stuff with Liam 9th. Sloth in 10th position, the second driver on soft tyres there. Equals in 11th position. Coop in 12th position. Coop in 12th position, Siege in 13th on old scrubbed medium tyre tanks. He's been in the pits an awful lot ago, Siege has. 14th position, Nigel, that 5-second penalty is going to cost him, I think. Boxstyle is back in the box seats, pun intended, in 15th, and Arnolzi in 16th position as well. But yes, big names. Katie is saying some big names towards the bottom, man. I think the softs would just do it if they knew. Damn it. Gamer P2 doing a great job. No, then Equals at top 5. Let's go, bro. But that was called before the safety car came out. Equals down in 11th position there. Got a bit of overtake to us in the Equals. I'm sure that into the pits there comes Siege again. I wonder if Siege might go on to soft tyres now. Nigel's serving his penalty then, and I think the drivers who are on soft tyres then are feeling I think that they a bit concerned about getting to the end there, so that's why they're coming to the pits again. Lap 20 out of 29 here then in an incredible Miami Grand Prix. There is controversy everywhere at the moment, and Chaz are disqualified for overtaking the safety car, I presume. Nolsey on fresh soft tyres as well. Box up to 14th then. Drive through penalty, collision at the start, but he's back in 14th position. Can Boxstar recover to get some points then? I think I would not like to have that papaya McLaren in my wing mirrors in this late stage of the Grand Prix. We have had Milan and Percy colliding, or as I thought it goes around then, colliding then, and Percy going into the wall at turn 17 there. That is going to be a major falling out there, and once again then more controversy down in turn 17 here in ALR. My word then. Of course, German having technical issues then, but internet problems there for German, which German may have to. We'll have to review that at the end. But German, if there is issues then with his, if there are issues with the internet then for German, that is going to be so painful to see German have to sit out there, isn't it, until that's sorted. And then Vezi also out the race as well. After I assume that him and Nosey came to blows well on the back straight as well. And Vezi then of course crashed out just a moment later. Then unfortunately, and he is out of the Grand Prix as well. No points for Vezi still. Nigel has served his 5-second penalty. Safety car is in the end of this lap. We've got 10 laps to go. The Miami Grand Prix then, and my goodness gracious me then. Let's get going in for one final time, hopefully. I hope so anyway, because this is now cutting into my beauty sleep then. Of course, this is more important than going to sleep, definitely, isn't it? I cannot wait. Indigo's on hard tires then, so those hard tires should go to the end, but he's going to have a problem with firing him up then to begin with. Percy is back in the session, right then, as we're now back racing once again then. Here we go, it is Indigo that has gone away, so Gamer second, great stuff indeed, Sam Green in third, Troy the champion in fourth, with Mr. Raging Bull in fifth, Marky in sixth on soft tires, Milan is seventh, and eighth is Indigo, Immortal, Liam Yet ninth, and with Sloth having a sniff on the inside of Liam Yet in 10th position at this moment. We'll see while the soft tires last as well. That is my question. Blockbuster sprint to the finish. Tango is saying that, of course, as George's up to 13th already. Got some deep Siege's now got lost out to Siege's got right down to 16th position there, right at the back of the Crocodile. So issues there. Troy now all over the back of Green then. Tango saying that Milan's got a lot of work to do, has to get himself back up to where he was before. And here comes Troy, and Troy has got to overtake these three cars, and if he wants to win this Grand Prix, how to look there, contact there, and between as Gamer has been tagged there from Green. And unfortunately, Green, I think, just misjudged the braking zone there. And Gamer down into 9th position there. Mr. Rage of Bull's got a 3-second podium. That's going to cost him a podium, I think. And that is brutal there from Mr. Rage. Oh, that is such a shame. Down on the back straight once again. Now Troy's going for the lead then. Here, Indigo then currently leading this race, and there's not pitted. Then he's going to be on. He's the only driver now on the medium, on the hard tires. And my word, that those hard tires that are going to be very. Still very cold, I think, and maybe it might start to warm up now. And now here comes Troy then taking the lead of Miami. Here he is, and he has done it. Troy leads Grand Prix fast as well, just like an exclamation mark there as well. So we got Marky up the order as well. There's a Haas of Liam dropped down to the back of the field. Green, contact! Oh my word, but Marky is through in fourth position, and there he goes, the LP driver. Yellow flag in one as well. I think that's a recovering Liam, and look, the two Red Bulls. I'm wondering if they're going to do the switch in now, because of course with Green has dropped past Milan as well. Green is losing. He's got a lot of understeer there with Immortal now up into 6th position there, with Sloth up into 7th as well, and the McLaren Mercedes Indigo and Mr. Rage have swapped positions there. Now can Mr. Rage then start to put the power down now? Gamer, what a shame for Gamer. Unfortunately Sam Green tagged the back of the AlphaTauri and has dropped him all the way down to the back of dropped him down to 9th or 10th position then. I think the tires are still overcooked then, and he has spun all the way to the back there. And just watching Indigo then going through that very Mickey Mouse chicane, which I love, to be honest. We got a bit of reverse deployment there. You can see that because the overtake button was green there on Marky's steering wheel. There he is again. He's pushing as hard as he can here. There's no DRS just yet. There's a Williams of Immortal. I think he's bedded off Sloth, to be honest, and trying to. I thought someone was to the back there, but maybe not. Maybe it's just my eyes. Looking on, my eyes are on stalks here. I'm not sure about the other drivers. So we'll just see what goes on. There's the Red Bull, and now here comes Marky up in the third position. There, Marky's had appalling luck. Then this is exactly what the doctor ordered there for the Alpine driver. Up into third position now. Boxstyle is in the top 10, and great recovery drive there from Boxstyle. It looked absolutely hopeless a couple of laps ago. It's never hopeless in Formula 1. Anything can happen in this Grand Prix. It usually does, doesn't it? That is the oldest saying in Formula 1, and it is so true, isn't it? Now, so these drivers need to stay for 3 seconds to get a podium. Then Milan back into fourth position. They go recovering quite nicely now. Milan is at yellow flag in one again. It is Gamer off again, and what a horror show for Gamer. VSC is out there, and that just is. Did the overtake get done between? I think it did. The overtake just got done between Immortal and Indigo. So Immortal now up in the 5th position. Immortal in the 5th position. Indigo down to 16th recently. Indigo's just trying to hang on, isn't he? I think Indigo would probably like another safety car, to be honest with you, just to get him over there. BSC is still out at the moment. Liam, yeah, down 50 into 5th position. Gamer down into 16th. Gamer's on the medium tires as well. Gamer will need a safety car, I think, to get himself back into this one now. He may have damage as well, that's why the BSC is out. Unfortunately, then look at this gaggle of cars there. We've got a bit of a gap, a bit of freedom space between Mr. Rage and Marky at the moment. Tango saying, and this will be the most important point of Troy. If Troy goes on to win this car, then winning when you're not the best is. We're back racing. Winning when you're not the best. That is incredible. It is, isn't it? There, and it's just. We got Immortal going deep into turn 1 then, which means that and goodness gracious me, and then somehow Indigo is still in 6th. But look left, there's Green on the outside, passes Immortal. Equals on the left as well, and the 2 McLarens out. There's going to be contact between Boxdown and Slop. Oh my word, there. The 2 McLarens now at the order. Then we got Equals in Green going side by side. 5-second penalty for Gamer speeding the pit lane out of the race. I think Gamer is going to be a bit unamused by what has gone on. And now then, as we got there's free abreast, and it looks like there's a very slow Red Bull of Indigo there. Is he out of power there? Is he out of deployment? And now Equals up into 6th position, Green down into 7th there. I think that Indigo is out of deployment there, isn't it? Because he was very slow down that back straight, and that Red Bull came out of nowhere. Milan 2 seconds back then from the top 2 at the moment there. And at this moment in time then, Mr. Rage is still in 3rd position then, isn't he? He is still 3 seconds in front then. Driver of the day is out at the moment then. Serious Version does agree with Tango's statement as well. And I'm trying to read all your comments out, but I dare not take my eyes off the ball here. Oh gosh, there, and now Indigo, who's going to be on the outside here. So Slop on the inside passes and moves up into 8th position there. Indigo 9th fed. 10th position is Boxtown. Down into turn 1, and Boxtown from a day late and $1 short there. Contact there, and that's a huge amount of contact to the side of the Red Bull there. I don't think it was going to cause too much damage there from Indigo. But now, and here's Boxtown on the outside. He has 9th for this then. Nigel, can he get the first point of his campaign here tonight in Miami? He is up into 11th position now, and he is going to be very close to the back of Indigo. He needs to do it ASAP though, because there's Coop, there's Nosey, Siege, and Liam, all behind him. Would love to have that point as well. And Driver of the Day is out the moment. Immortal 67% of the vote. Marky 33% of the vote. Keep on coming in, ladies and gents. Troy leads the way, but not for much longer, because he now Mr. Agent Bull, that 3-second penalty that could cost him his first race win, but leads Miami here with just 4 laps to go now. Mr. Agent Bull is leading the way. Milan's got a 3-second penalty. Marky on soft tyres then. I wonder if those soft tyres are going to start to struggle later on in this one, but at the moment he is still he's on course now to get a podium as well. Goodness gracious, gone for Marky. He deserves driver of the day. He's been fantastic, as Marky has said. The Bulls has been superb as well. Those are 2 drivers at the moment that are winning the driver of the day. Troy down into Troy takes the lead once again. Passes Mr. Raging Bull and moves up into 2nd position. Boxdale down in 8th position there, with Green in 9th. So Green is now in 9th position now. Boxdale making his way up into 8th. So this is a great. I think the Boxdale may look back on this one there as this race where he might be able to gain some momentum there, as Boxdale has very much not been what a comeback for Jordan. He's been a great driver, been a great performance there for Boxdale, hasn't he? After it's been a very difficult race, this has been for Boxdale, now a very difficult season as well. But this is very good. This is very good indeed. Nigel now in the top 10 as well. Great stuff there to see Nigel also getting some points there. Now we're back on board with Mr. Raging Bull then, as him and Troy. They don't want to fight too hard, but Mr. Raging Bull doesn't want to fight too hard, because of course there he wants to stay in front of the drivers behind him, the likes of Immortal and Marky. Yes, cheers for saying that Markey was 21 seconds off the back, and now he is in 7th position. Now past his teammate, 2nd and 3/10 behind Equal. Said, well, I think the sky's the limit for Boxer. Do you reckon get into 5th before the end of this race? Maybe. Then I think that Equal, it might be a stretch to get into 5th there for Boxer, because the gap is still 3 seconds there. As you've got a problem then at the back of the field. Liam, yeah, has gone straight off at the end of the back straight, and now here comes Troy, and goodness me, he's just flown by, hasn't he? Mr. Raging Bull, but we were down to the back at the end of that straight now. There's Milan, and he is catching up now, but he's had a 3-second penalty. Milan does. That could have knocked him off the podium at this stage, and we'll keep an eye on the gaps. And well, having said that, Markey is now 2 seconds back. Then Markey, I think, is losing time now with on those soft tyres, and the medium tyres may have been the way to go. Immortal 45% of the vote, Nigel 18%, no, 36% of the vote for Markey at the moment. Incredible end to the race, I should say. Incredible stuff indeed. Then back on board with Troy once again. 3 laps to go. Mr. Rach in 2nd position. Milan in 3rd. Then Milan is just trying to gap. But Markey he's got 3 laps to do it, and I think those soft tyres are well past their best now. They're just falling off the cliff, I feel. Immortal could have Markey, I think, before the end of this race. Here comes Mr. Raging Bull, and he has been fantastic, hasn't he, Mr. Raging Bull? And once again takes the lead then. Where is Troy? He's down into 2nd position, but Troy is the only driver in the top 3 not to get a penalty, and that could win him the Grand Prix here tonight. I think that'll be Troy's. Troy will be only the 2nd driver to win 2 races this. Only the 1st driver to say to win 2 races this season. Look at that then, a lovely shot that going under the highway here for Troy. Then as he is wow, but he has dropped out quite dramatically there from Mr. Raging Bull, as he is trying to put his toe down. That Mr. Raging Bull is there. And Milan then, who's a bit too far back from Troy at the moment, so we're on board now with the rear wing then. Just got to get good points, and good points is a win for Geordie, in my opinion. Yes, and oh no, Boxtel dropping down the order. Boxtel has I think he's dropped down the order. I think he might have had a bit of a slide there. He's recovering then. He is really, the back end is wagging like a excitable dog then. Equals has dropped behind Slop. There he is then. Equals has now dropped behind Slop. Sam Green up into 9th position then. Nigel, can he get more than a point then into the county? It's not as well then. It is drama all over the show here at the moment then, isn't it? Then we're going to go back to the 2 Mercedes, and Liam has got a 5-second penalty for spin in the pit lane then. What a shame that Liam he might be able to go fast up here. Watching Milan then is going to overtake his teammate there, Troy, and as we've heard, that has struggled, but at the moment there, he is still on course to win this race because he has got a 3-second penalty. It is all about keeping your concentration now for Troy then, and goodness me, almost going to the back of his teammate, and Boxtel has recovered to get himself back into 7th position there. We have got Sam Green and up into 9th position, and Nigel in 10th at the moment there. Oh, and a kiss in the back of the Aston Martin now. Sam Green now is also beginning to boot up the rear posterior there from Nigel. Then Nigel is also being pressurised by. We're also being pressurised by Cooper. Well, now Milan is flying up there. He wants to get that Mercedes 1-2, doesn't he? Of course, he needs to pass Mr. Raging Bull. Then he does have a 3-second penalty as well there. But Milan wants a Mercedes 1-2, which should be only the 5th 1-2 in ALR history, or the 4th 1-2 in ALR history. I can't remember now. Just on board, and Markey can get 2nd. I dare not look then. At the moment, Markey is about 2 seconds back. Then Mr. Raging Bull has lost the lead then to Milan. Then there is Milan got on the outside, and now it's Mercedes 1-2. 1 lap to go in this race. Then they need to. At the moment, though, Troy is still in the box seats to win this race. And Troy then is going to win the 2nd race of the season. Then at this moment in time, he cannot make any mistakes. Troy can't, but he is struggling at the moment in this Mercedes. Markey in 4th position, and I think that he's just slightly out of touch, and I think he's going to finish 4th in the end, isn't he? In this one, which is such a shame there for Markey, because he drove superbly well, but I think he'd be happy with the points, won't he? Mortal, though, is only 8-10 seconds back, and Mortal, well, yeah, still that 4th position away from him, because I think that these sometimes Nigel and Coop are fighting tooth and nail here, because Nigel's not giving up this 10th position. He wants a point then to start off the momentum here this season, don't he? Look at that. We got bill of 2 races out there, man. We've got the top 3, then we got the the rest of the field, well, it's technically the top 5, I would say, and then the rest of the field, then that straight was not long enough, but they do have one more straight, don't they? And it is this one here. But so I think that both McLarens are going to be looking over their shoulders, and Mark is going to be looking over his shoulder with a Mortal as well. It's not over till it's over here. 42% of the vote then for Mortal, 3% of the vote for Menalty, for Market. Well then, what about the penalties though, Shaw then? At the moment then, the penalty situation is this then. I think that the Milan and Mr. Rage Bull going to be second and third then. Out of the final turn and Troy wins his 11th Grand Prix win of the season. And it is with Milan in second and Mr. Rage Bull in third position there. And it is the fifth ever 1-2 in ALR history, and 2 of them in this season. What an incredible super team we have in the Mercedes as they all come across the line now with Markey. Brilliant drive to fourth, and that is really going to elevate him. That's his first time in the top 10 this season. Immortal in fifth position. Boxstar recovered brilliantly to 6th. Absolutely fantastic. Sloth, Equal, Sam Green, and Nigel getting his first points of the season as well. Indigo did 20 laps on those hard tyres in the end. Then Cooper in 12th position. Nosey, Siege, and Liam completes the runners then in this one. What an incredible day that is for Mercedes team, and what an incredible win there for Troy. He's the first driver to win 2 races this season for Troy. After it's been a very difficult 2 races there for Troy, and we heard that he was not entirely comfortable with the car, but yet he still came home to take a 11th Grand Prix win of his career, his second win of the season there for Troy, the world champion. Milan finished second today. Third position there was Mr. Raging Bull as well. Let's take a full look at the classification, shall we, from the Miami Grand Prix. Troy from 4th on the grid to win this race today. Impressive stuff indeed. Milan and Mr. Rage unfortunately got 3-second penalties, otherwise they could have won this race today or been 1 and 2. Fourth position was Markey in a brilliant drive for Mark today, getting some major points there. Immortal, great recovery drive to 5th, and drive today as well. Boxstar, great recovery to 6th. Sloth 7th, Equaz 8th, Green 9th, Nigel 10th position, opening up his account there with some points there. 11th position then Indigo, Coop in 12th, Nosey 13th, Siege 14th, and Liam in 15th. Retirements then was Gamer, Chaza, Vesley, Percy, and German, all retired them from this Miami Grand Prix. And a very controversial Miami Grand Prix as well. Then, so this is going to get very interesting indeed. I think in the old interviews. Then, so I cannot wait. Then I do love a bit of controversy. But firstly, let's come to Troy. Then, Troy, we heard from Tango that you was really struggling with the car setup today, and it did seem like that you was a bit behind the pace of the front runners out of Percy and Milan in the opening stages. Then, but a win surely must be feeling good for you.
Mate, this one, I should not even be in contention for a podium in this one, because I don't... I mean, pace was off already in qualifying. Then I somehow managed to put a great lap onto the board to put it fourth and still put it within reach of the guys in front. But then, of course, the race pace I was lacking completely as well. I put myself under a lot of issues because since lap 21 I hit the wall. I was driving with yellow wing damage, and I had Rage in the party as well. I didn't want to say I didn't want to tell him that I had yellow wing damage, because then he'd probably push on a bit more and try to get that 3-second gap. So I was quiet about it until I crossed the line. But yeah, overall I'm so delighted, man, because I shouldn't even be close to the top 3, honestly, and to get the win is crazy, man. I come in here with no preparations whatsoever, compared to last week where I prepared a lot and it went to shit, to be honest. So it's so weird, man, and I don't know. I'll take it for sure, though.
It's what goes around comes around, though, kind of thing, isn't there? Because Australia and Baku, you had awful luck there. You was involved in a lot of shenanigans as well. But today, where you was on the back foot, you did come through to win. And I would also say as well that I think that Tango mentioned in the comments there that that is what they were going to be looking back on this race as potentially one that really won you the title, where potentially where you wasn't at your best. Then is that what you're thinking at the moment? Then just about getting the points then in the bag then.
Mate, I am honestly thinking about survival at the moment. my I was hoping for my pace to be up there, like for championship contending early on. At the moment, I'm just focusing on getting as many points as I can until I find my pace. To be honest, because the pace is horrific. If I'm if I'm gonna be completely honest, to be like 3-4 seconds behind Milan and Percy after a couple of laps is unacceptable. And it's not gonna be enough to win the championship if I keep going like this. Luckily for me, I like racecraft is still there. Racecraft is something that's always gonna be like, or like race thinking or whatever you'd like to call it, is something that's still gonna remain with you all the time, no matter how the pace is looking like at any game. So that's kind of what I've had to pull out the bag at the moment to even clutch up a couple of points, you know.
Is that down to the start of the calendar then? Because this is a very unusual start to the calendar. We got like a lot of untraditional race circuits that this is another street circuit we got, and I think we're going to a traditional circuit next week in Imola. So do you think it's just down to the type of tracks to open up this season?
No, honestly, it's not that. It's everything. It's a bit of everything. As it's the new game doesn't suit me really well, to be honest. I haven't had as much time to practice as I had on the previous game either. So I come less prepared on a game that I'm even worse at, if that makes any sense. So to even be able to grab 2 wins in the first 5 races is for me like it's above expectations, really. Hopefully I can keep this momentum up, and I mean I'm still happy with what I've achieved so far considering the pace. So when pace gets up there, I really look forward to it. Hopefully, if pace gets up there.
Goodness me, that's going to put a lot of your rivals a bit worried about that. Good gosh, that would have sent a chill down my spine. Why didn't they draw your 11th Grand Prix win of your career? And you're the only driver to win 2 races so far in the opening 5 events. So magnificent stuff indeed. We have 22 viewers still in the stream at the moment because we all know why, don't we? Let's come to Milan now. Milan, there's a bit of a flashpoint in this race. You had a great second state, and your pace in qualifying was absolutely magnificent. Now, let's start with that first because you seem to be in a different time zone, and then Percy pipped you right at the very end. Then, was you surprised by Percy's pace then, or do you think, or did you think that was what was expected in qualifying?
Well, first enough, I'm happy to get a P1 and P2 with the team. It's very good for Troy. Yeah, in qualifying, talking first lap in Q3, I was basically getting blocked by Percy in the last corner because of the tire smoke. If that wouldn't have happened, I think I would have been quick enough to get pole. That lap anyway. And just yeah, overall the race was a bit of a shame about my pace. I mean the pace was good, but just the things that happened is not what you want to have. So
Yeah,
that.
let's talk about that instead the back in the straight in turn 17 there. Well, even before that actually, because on that lap there, it seemed like you and Percy was well, like you seemed like you were magnets to each other. You was bagging wheels and everything, which I thought was great entertainment there. But it seemed like that there must have been a bit of bad feeling coming over from qualifying then, by the sounds of things, and maybe a bit of gamesmanship then, which has gone through into the race, and then unfortunately, of course, Percy retired from the race then when he hit the wall at turn 17. What's your take on this then?
Well, it's not the frustration coming over from qualifying to the race. It's just I don't know what it is. I've never had it with someone with another driver, but I don't know what it is with Percy. I just always have incidents with him, always contact, and it's not needed at all. I believe I'm a clean driver, and I think a lot of people know that as well. Maybe Percy and me just gotta talk about what we're doing wrong, because we're both doing things wrong. Um, we're both clean drivers. I believe we can be clean drivers, and we're both very quick. But if it's not clean, there's no point in racing. Of course, he retired. I don't think I could have done much because I little bit I broke myself, but I just felt like he was giving up and just went into the wall. Um, but yeah, pace was good for me. Uh, Troye's pace was good, and that's what I'm happy about. I hope Troye will be a world champion again.
That's very admirable for you to say. I must say, I'm selfish. I want to be champion kind of thing, but of course, that's why I'm no longer racing. But no, it's I think it's only the fifth time I've ever had a 1-2 at ALR. From that statement there, you saying that you're not going to be, you don't think you're going to be a part of the World Championship battle? Because I would say that incredible win in Saudi Arabia just 2 races ago, and then here tonight as well, you in person was gapping the field by quite a big margin. So you're surely going to be in it or in there somewhere. Or are you concerned about some of the circuits coming up where you might not be able to keep up this pace?
I mean, the gap on lap 8 before the safety car came was like 7.5 seconds to Troye, with Percy then of course. But I mean that's not a problem. Like the circuits that are coming up, so they're all easy. But I only have Sunny to race as I cannot play F1 on the other days. So that's not a big issue. But I'd rather just help Troye to win the championship than winning it myself. Because I don't want to see anyone else winning it who is currently the title contender.
That's very admirable of you. I must say, then very good stuff indeed. Then, but if there is a chance for you to go win it, you're not going to just wave Troy through, are you? We're not in the 50s anymore, are we? Because I remember Sterling Moss gave up his car. You're not going to give up your car. You're going to go for the win, surely.
I mean, if I have the pace to win the race and I'm well enough ahead of Troye, I would like to win, of course. But if Troye has 5 tenths behind me, I don't care. Like, we're a team, and I'd rather see him win than seeing myself win.
Really good stuff indeed. Well done, Milan, and very admirable indeed. That's very unusual for a racing driver to say that, isn't it? Let's come to, I think it was Mr. Rage in third in the end then. Mr. Rage, I got to say, you drove absolutely superb this weekend, and you was brilliant. And you was getting involved in the Mercedes as well. You was fighting with Milan, you was fighting with Troye. How did that feel then? Of course, you've been very much edging up throughout the past couple of races or so, but now you're at the front end of the field then. Do you think this was down to race dependent circuit, or was this your true pace?
It's it's tough. It's tough. Um, the incident between Milan and Percy does help. One less person I have to worry about. Um, but no, I I'm usually I usually have good pace around Miami, but not in quali, but race pace is always there that I'm always comfortable with. So um, I'd say so. I, yeah, it's a tough one for me. I'm still um, buzzing because I had to get a 3 second gap at the end because I cut the annoying chicane a tiny bit. So that was a bit hectic for the last I think 7 laps.
It certainly was, and of course that tight chicane. You can tell I'm a commentator, not a racer, because I love that chicane. I don't think any of the 20 drivers that race tonight like that chicane at all. But apart from that 3 second penalty, though, when you got that 3 second penalty, did your mindset change then, or did you think you could win this race or come second today? Was that your aim as you was coming into the closing stage before that 3 second penalty?
Um, no, my aim was to get my first podium because I've not had a podium in. I think I have not had a podium in ALR, so I think this might be the first podium. I'm not too sure, but I just wanted the podium, whether it was P1, P2, P3. I wasn't bothered. I just wanted that podium.
And you certainly got it. I think this is your second podium, but you don't want to talk to me last time, which is understandable. Then coming into, but after this one, then now that I've mentioned to Troy about the circuits are now going to be more traditional. We go to Imola next week, and I've forgotten the one afterwards. But they're more traditional race circuits now than street circuits. How are you feeling then for the season going forward? Then, because I think you've had a mixed bag to start the season, but I do think that you've really gone through the ringer and got some great results said overall. But do you think now that now when we go to the traditional circuit, you're now going to start to take off and jump up the championship order?
Well, the race is coming up. I've already done them in other leagues, so I'm comfortable around there. I know what I need to do. I just basically need to deliver and make sure that I don't have those silly pens or get into incidents and just keep it clean. As long as I can do that, I'm usually very good at keeping consistency. But we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, no, next track I'm looking forward because I love my Imola, so can't wait.
Proper racing driver, that's what we like to hear. Fantastic stuff. Well done today, Mr. Raging Bull. Well done to Troy for his 11th Grand Prix in the season, and well done to Milan for a second today as well. And that is going to be it then from Milan. I mean, goodness gracious me, controversy creates cash, doesn't it? I love it. Right, and I think you guys love it as well. I can't believe how many people stayed to just want it. I bet you just want to hear what Milan was going to say, didn't you? And of course, Mr. Rage and Troy as well. But that is going to be it then. Spain is after him. Thank you very much, Serious Russia. At least someone's paying attention. We'll be back tomorrow night, which I believe Knowles is going to be in the commentary box tomorrow night. So we've actually finally got someone who knows what they're talking about. I'm back on Tuesday night for the bronze race here in Miami. No F2, of course, this week, which means we've got a free Wednesday. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might have to find something on Disney Plus. But that is going to be it then for tonight in gold. Fantastic stuff indeed there. It's Troy who has won his second Grand Prix in the season. His 11th of his career as well. Magnificent stuff. It's a Mercedes 1-2. Only the fifth 1-2 ever in ALR Gold history. Brilliant. We'll see you in a day's time for silver and for bronze.